Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, if we can get up those Blackhawks, Seahawks, once they're refueled, we can about find anything on the map.
All right, so then the next question is, how long does that take? Let's take a look at that. I think
Let
it
me
was
go look that up on
four
the.
four. Or it had mentioned table 4 4. So no, I do not have these memorized yet. None of that.
Ah,
Same here.
So
well, we're gonna
the
reach.
thought here is that the helicopters have already been up, and they're the actual reason that you're converging the way you're converging. Aircraft ready times to arm to fuel. These are all small. These are both small, right? The Sea Sprite and the. I think so. I would think so, just based on. Yes, small.
What section?
It's on page 4 4. It's aircraft ready times.
Thank you.
I'm even like getting used to the like
And it's
page
arm.
layout.
So it's arm and fuel. The assumption here is that you don't have to rearm. I'm not. There's nothing really to rearm. Although the rearming of ASW is only 20 minutes anyway, so that lines up with the fuel. So it's going to be 20 minutes. So at 0920 you can launch again. They probably wouldn't. We'll see if anybody's still. We'll see if anybody's still floating, but well, it very well could be actually.
Yeah, because the Seahawks don't have any arms except torpedoes.
Right. So that's kind of, I mean, you have them, but so if there were submarines in the area, you obviously probably would launch them again. So
Yeah.
we'll launch them later, just to. But sorry, I just didn't want you to put so much effort into the.
Well, I had to make the forms anyway,
Yeah.
so they're done.
Yeah, so how would I mean logistically, how does this work when we're editing PDFs but we're on separate computers? Is
Um,
is that the kind of thing
I.
where we should
Oh no,
think about
that's
like a
just. I mean, I know how much you've been damaged. Usually, when you start getting damaged, it's whatever. Um,
yeah, but like planning legs and stuff, is this the kind of thing where we should
no,
talk about like maybe a
planning legs, you would do it right into the Excel sheet I put up there. So just
okay.
we'll go real slow through that, and I'll make sure you can get to it and make sure. But so what we would first do here is first of all, I got to go ahead and stream this into Simplot so you can see it real time. Hold on a second. Now I need to figure out. Now I need to remember how to do that. I think I do this and then dum bum bum. Share your screen. Screen one, streaming channel, resolution. Okay. So you should see it. And then, so you have to click on Saturday Morning Harpoons as a whole to see our 4 screens now at this point, and then click
Yeah.
on mine to see my thing. And hopefully this is a reasonable resolution. Can you see this okay?
Yeah, I mean I'm on a 13-inch MacBook, so nothing's going to be big.
But
I use like a 44-inch TV,
so right
digital
now,
TV.
Ah,
I'm on the map. Do you see me on the map?
yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I should hook this up to a TV
All right.
sometime.
So it's not a bad idea actually. Um, all right. So I'm going to turn this grid on and off just so you can kind of get a better idea how far apart we are. Roughly 50 miles. So we're within firing range ish from both of us. I kind of want to do that just so we can kind of get into the meat of what we're doing here. Um, I think at most we're 60. So this one I gave it the wrong name, but that's okay. I called it Schlotsky. If anybody knows
What's the distance between the spacing on between the ships, by the way?
Right now it is roughly 10. I can decrease that. I can increase that. I was gonna let you have like a deployment time if you wanna rearrange these at all. If we want to, let's just check if Mike showed up. Would we prefer to um, wait and see if Mike shows up a
We can
little
wait a
bit?
few minutes and
Yeah,
talk about
but
this
go
a
ahead
few
and talk
minutes.
about it. Yeah. All right. So preferably you can rearrange this. You wouldn't necessarily know. I might know my arrangement. You might see the fact that there's a slightly larger vessel here. Um, you can rearrange this however you want within maybe within these blocks here. These would be 15 nautical mile blocks.
Connor, I think since the kid has the biggest punch with an 8 salvo harpoon, you might want to stick it. You might want to stick it between the two frigates and close up the formation
Lots where you
to
can put
protect
him.
each other from incoming.
Yeah. So you want to switch these two?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that occurred to me, but again, I defer to you all.
I
uh,
will. I want to
Um.
close up. I
Yeah.
need to close up the formation a bit too. I want to make it. I want to be able to cover each ship and cover the other ships.
Yeah. I think what your
so
Sam.
what's the distance
So look at
that's
your.
required for that?
So that's a good question. Let's go look at your Sam ranges, right? Pretty much. Let's see. You got 9. I think usually it's 9, but let's go look at your
I think my
ships.
SAM range is like 90 actually with those SM1 SMRs.
Okay. Let's take a look.
So so Sam is under missiles then?
Nope, 20. Yeah, 25 range.
Yeah,
Mono range.
I wouldn't have thought it would be that.
Because mine says the SM1MR says 17.5.
Hmm.
Uh,
1 second. Let's go look
It
at
could be
that.
different block of SM1MR too.
It's a
So
block 4. He's got block
Block
4.
4 is, yeah, which all of this means nothing to me right now.
You're a block 6. Yeah, you got slightly better.
if we can get within probably 5-10 miles of each ship.
Think we're in there.
I
Like,
think
aren't we
you're in
like
there right
roughly
now, but
eight,
Okay.
8 to 9? I
you
think
want
we
to
were.
you still want to move these. You still want to move the
Yeah,
destroyer.
just slightly closer.
So this guy, you want him to be about like 8, like right here, or
Yeah.
yeah, I'll switch it as well. All right, so let me just. All right, so the way you do this is actually pretty straightforward. So we're on 15, yep, 52. We're on 59, 52. So if you wanted to be, that's the only thing I do wish that Simplot you could drag and drop. I also wish
I
you
was
could
about
copy
to
and
ask.
paste. Yeah, you can't,
You'd think
but
there would be like a master like
like a
key
lock,
that kind of, yeah, that's
yeah,
sort
like
of
a
like,
lock.
okay, in setup you unlock it and drag
Yes,
and drop and
exactly.
then lock it
Yeah.
in during the
All
session.
right, so we're
Interesting.
okay with the. We're okay at that. Okay with that. This needs to be about 15. We'll rearrange this.
So basically, when you're setting this scenario up, you had to basically punch in the coordinates and just kind of get them
Well, no,
close-ish.
I will show you something in that regards here in a second. Um, you might want him in front. Oop, wrong way. Of course, I never get my X's and Y's right.
By the way, Connor, I think the kid's going to be found first, since it's the biggest ship on our side.
About
I
like that.
assumed so is this I assumed that, yeah, I think that, well, I think Michael wanted him a little closer, like more 5-6 miles. But yeah, it's annoying that you can't just drag
That
them.
should work. That should work right there. Something like
Okay.
that.
The only thing I'll call out is that if a missile comes, maybe this, I don't know what their seeker range and so forth is, but if for some reason this frigate had fired here, there's a chance of going port or starboard a certain degree. So depending upon when they activate, right? There sometimes a certain level of distance can help because then it might not hit the destroyer if it doesn't. So in other words, if you had a like a
Hmm.
poor resolution or poor FC resolution, and for somehow it maybe it activated right around here, and then maybe it steers or veers maybe 5 degrees this direction starboard, then there's a chance it wouldn't. In other words, if you're within 5, there's more of a chance of an errant
Yeah.
missile strike. But
Hmm.
there's a certain point where you just got to get in and fire. Um, the Nelson effect. Let's see. I think I'm going to just leave mine the way it is. Just um, let's see how it goes. Let's see how close we are. All right, we're kind of, yeah, we're within. Okay, so something to go ahead and think about. We might as well go ahead and just mark it. Let's take a look at your OH parries and maybe mark your radar ranges while we're thinking here, right? Because this will kind of somewhat dictate or inform what you do on your first turn here. So let's take a look at which one did I call that? I don't know if I even called it correctly. Which one do you want to be, Nicholas or Taylor here? Here's Taylor. I think I.
Doesn't matter.
All right. I do need to name
Our
it.
radar horizons are 23 and 21, so they're pretty small, not including the modifiers.
Let me see the.
So is the if you all can remind me, like, what's the premise of the scenario? Like, are we starting where we've already detected who's on the other end,
Yes.
or I mean,
Yes.
I
If
didn't
you look
know since they
back,
were.
if you look back here, I had posted. Um, there were carrier groups um, enclosing on each other, right? So right here, you're in effect your helicopters. You are in the pickets of these two carrier groups, right? And if they launch their helicopters, you would probably be at about the range you are if you made a beeline for each other. So if your helos had gone out and detected passively or actively, most of the time helicopters would have probably lit up, right? And so the assumption here is that both sides have lit their helicopters, have seen each other, have detected each other at range, at pretty long range, and basically made a beeline for each other and are attacking. Does that make
Okay,
sense?
so again, this is all very remedial, I know, but so is the benefit of knowing our radar ranges, does that like improve fire control stuff, like
Yes, and
accuracy?
yes, and there are some limitations to fire control, and we'll absolutely go over that. Let's put these
Okay.
ranges on your ships, and then we'll immediately go to that fire control chapter and take a look at that. Let's see. So as you were saying, Michael, your range to small is 25. Your range to medium is 44 for SS. Were you looking at the Mark 92 cast or?
SPS 55.
Yeah, that's right. So this shows 25 against small, 44 against medium. So you would probably detect the. Hold on a second.
If I have it on.
Correct. So you have the general idea where these guys are, and you know there was a larger one amongst them. You don't necessarily particularly know where it ended up, but the helicopters told you, "Hey, they're this way, and they're coming." So the carrier group said, "You need to go take care of this." Uh, let's see, where are you? Let's go ahead and put those on there. Can you call that back out to me? That was the SPS
55.
55. Yeah, and the range to. Right, to.
44 is medium.
And then we just give it a color. We can change it if it looks goofy. And then the SPS 55 too small was 21. Is that right? Or 23? What was the range to small?
I think it was 23. Let me make sure here.
Wait, are you putting in the kid info? Because it
Am I?
looks like you're on the
25.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
you're on the kid though. So
Thank you for noticing that.
Yeah.
The kid has the same radar.
Oh, it
So
does.
Okay. Just I just noticed the kid thing. Yeah, 55 is 40.
It's 25, so 25 and 44, as you just said. Sorry. All right, so that's that. And same here. We'll go ahead and just put them on. I should have. Another reason I would like to be able to copy. So you can set it all up and then have.
Well, I think it seems like my initial impressions of all the Simplot stuff is that it's great, but there's so much setup. It's almost like another reason to perhaps like explore this idea that you had of like a campaign, so that you didn't have to do this for like little short scenarios, and then
Well,
you
no, I
can
could
kind of
set it all up.
reuse.
Honestly, it's just more my prep, right? It's more on me, right? I need to be
Well,
more.
I mean, but I mean, all this like really granular detail. It's like might as well do it once and have like a more extended, right? If we
Yes,
like did this, if we did this
that's what
like
I'm gonna do.
once every other,
If anything survives here, it'll show up in the next scenario, and I'll
yeah,
just keep growing it.
like once
Um,
every other week or once a month, if we
yeah,
try to do this,
yeah.
like we have some ships that are recurring,
I'm gonna just turn
basically.
that one off, just so we see one of them for now. We'll see the lead ships one for now, but I'll go ahead and put it in there.
So another question while you all are doing
Hmm?
this, why are you choosing just certain ranges? Is it because those are the sizes
Those
of
are
the
the size of
ships
those
that
ships. Yeah.
were okay?
If I knew there was any like a cruiser or something like that, possibly large, or
Yeah.
most of the scenarios I've been in have had small and medium.
Okay.
Now we might end up needing to look at certain things for very small if it's like a harpoon on a sea skimmer. We'll cross that bridge.
Thank y'all for doing this
Hmm.
too. Like this is. I mean, I played this as like a 13-year-old, like almost 30 years ago now or whatever, like mid 90s on a PC, and it doesn't really make sense back then, but I mean, I have never returned to it, but I've always tried to keep my eye on like the game because it just seems super fascinating.
All right, and again something else that I should have set up were the Soviets too. Let's go ahead and just take a look at it. You probably wouldn't. You would somewhat know this, and I don't care because we're gonna play this in the open. So forget. We'll keep our orders away from each other for some variants. But all right. So the frigates, the Kervoks, the Zadonyi. Okay, let's take a look at their. They're not as that great. These Kraviks, I can't remember the class.
they're more anti sub
Yeah.
weapons
Hmm.
ships.
So they only have an 11 and a 20, but they also have, and that is not an SST. We'll have to go look that up. So these aren't as good necessarily as the pocket or the patrol guided missile ones from the Jumpstart.
Yeah, but they got a punch with those metal missiles.
Yeah.
So is there something you would want me to look up really quick in the Russian Navy
Oh,
book?
Hmm?
I thought metal was a missile.
This right here, it's a DC. No, this is the primary
Okay.
OSMA. We'll have to take a look at that too. Okay, so then 11 and 20, and I'll just do it on one of them for now. Sorry, this is something I should have set up. We can improve that over time. Just want to try to speed it up a little
I'm in no hurry, just for the record.
bit. Yeah, I was gonna ask. I mean, do y'all have a hard stop at all, either of you?
No, I mean,
No.
I have a few wiener dogs at my feet, so I'll have to take them out at some point. But otherwise, I'm good.
Mm. So at least for the
My,
frigate, this is what you're dealing with. Not would you know this? You might need to, So we'll try to play this as much as you would react normally without entirely knowing all this. How about that? It's just a gentlemanly rule here. Um, so again, this is the same ship type, the Severity type. Oh, excuse me, I can't remember the darn name of it, Krasik or Kravik. The
Krivak or something. Yeah.
yeah, the Severny. This guy has a little bit more punch, I think. Let's go take a
Peter,
look.
did you say something about looking up some numbers from
No, but
the
thank you
annex?
for
Okay.
asking. It was all right.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's where we have it. Yeah. Oh, he's only still got a top. Okay.
I was under the impression like Russian radar was stronger in this time period. Am I like misremembering?
No, that SST monolith is pretty dang good.
Yes. This is the one. This is what I was.
Oh, okay.
This is where the cookie's gonna crumble. But the other ship doesn't have an SST. These, unless I'm mistaken. Let's go look. So it
Okay.
doesn't have real time targeting system links. But something. So if there was more than one of these, you'd be in trouble, right? Because they would be able to pass their targeting information immediately to each other, and that's something that's described a little bit more in detail in the next sit rep, by the way. Um, so yeah, it's one of the only systems that can in real time pass. I can't remember the range of it, if it's 15 nautical miles or 40, or I can't remember the range. But if you're within a certain range of another Soviet ship that has an SST, I think there's two different types. There's monolith T and there's one other type that can do this, but they're one of the only ships combinations that can pass information. Now, the Zadorny does not have that system. Let's
Okay.
see. So combat system
So then
third
I was just
generation. Yeah, it would have
paying
been pretty
attention to the
nasty
wrong
if I
ship.
did that to you.
Well,
but here's the thing. Here's the cool. So the Soviets have those pocket guided missile ships from like the Jumpstart, and those are awesome because they have them, or at least some of them, or at least one of them had it in the in that scenario. So if you had like a Zadorny, or excuse me, a Sovremny, and then like even two pocket patrol ships with guided missiles, you could fire with this guy and then pass your information to two or three like
hmm.
small ships. They're pretty small. Those patrol Soviet ships are small, but they have a punch. They have what, 8 missiles each. So yeah. So no, I didn't do that to you for this training.
What's the missiles on that thing, by the way?
Which one? The pocket one that I'm
Yeah,
talking
little
about?
one.
I have that.
The nine, no, no, the 956 you just had up.
Okay, hold on. This one, right? It's the OSA MA.
So it can give me a salvo of 4 missiles at a whack, basically.
And two. So each one has two. There's two, and each one has two.
Okay, so I can expect incoming salvos of 4 with this
And
ship.
that's FA. Let's go look at that. I'm horrible at arcs. F and A, that's 4.5, isn't it?
It's basically broadside
Yeah,
to get both those in our arc at the same time.
yeah. That is something to keep in mind. Like, so in other words, if I'm head on for you,
your head on
right?
is just two, right?
Exactly. So in other
Interesting.
words, which
You got
could slow me as well, right? So you might want to look at your arcs as well. We want to take a quick. We want to
I
take a
know,
quick look at that.
I know in the kid the missiles are forward arc. The phalanx is aft.
I think you have two. You have PA, SPNS, and rear. I think there's two of them
yeah, the kid it looks
on
like
different
has
arcs. Yeah.
yeah, it has two forward, two aft.
But the Perry's only got one right now.
I mean, the
You're
forward
correct. I
arc
believe you are
seems
correct. Ooh,
pretty useful.
yeah. Wow, that's weird. I mean, it's a smaller ship, right? They had to make up something, but wow. But the
I
arc of
thought that
that.
the
Let's go look at the arc of
Oh, it's still pretty good arc, except it's still you need to be broadside to cover the ship.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. All right. Yeah. So what we'll assume, and keep me honest on this, is that that last once you know there's an inbound, turn hard. I guess I'm
Yep.
not gonna screw you up in that way. But it would affect your movement, especially if we're into some minutia, especially if we're never gonna get within battery range potentially, but we'll see.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah, it's
But it's definitely,
interesting.
yeah, you're gonna have to make a hard turn, and I'm gonna have to make a hard turn. So gentleman's rule: we're always at least with our maximum arcs, unless we're really close in and within some odd maneuvering time frame. Maybe we'll get into some minutia of that movement, but we will assume that you can move to maximum offensive power. How about that, gentlemanly? All right. So as I was doing for the Sovereigny, the range is now what is so it's the Vegach and then oh no, it's the monolith. That's interesting though. So it has backup system, I guess. It's
I think the
80
Vegak is the actually a fire control director also.
Hmm.
So what's the phalanx on the kid? It's like messier. I don't know if you all can help me translate. I'm just trying to know if I have to do some of this crazy turns to have a little defense
I think you
also.
might need to in order to get both.
It says
Yeah,
two mounts on different arcs, but
You
port
got
aft.
that is a weird.
you
What
got
am I?
one on PA. You got one on PA, and the other one's on starboard broad and starboard. Weird mounts.
Yeah, those are weird.
There's there's no there's no port side, but there's starboard side.
What was a port aft?
Yeah, it's
Let's go
strange.
look at that.
I guess I just assume a lot of these ships have like some level of symmetry, which is
Yeah, you have a port
clearly
aft. So this, you
clearly
have
a
one
weird
here.
assumption.
I don't know if you're seeing this, but you have
Oh, I'm looking at
this,
yeah, I'm looking in the book, but
and then let's go look at the other one real quick. So the other one's S, B, and S.
yeah, and that's starboard and starboard bow. So I guess my what is
Those things, you combine those two, you get the same thing as a port
Yeah,
arc.
I don't get that, but let's go
should I
look. Yeah, I
double
would check in
check
the
Michael
annex.
that you got it in right?
No, this was me a while back, so definitely check.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um
it might even have been a typo. So phalanx on the kit, if you're able to look that up.
Because
Um,
Navy. Yeah. It's funny. I bought the print books, and then I feel like 2 weeks later there are these new revisions, and I just like, well, okay.
yeah, I feel the pain. Um,
At least they published the changes where you can update your books.
hmm
You found those, right, Connor?
Oh yes, I did. I haven't looked at them because I was just like, well, I'm just not even going to look at the books anymore.
What are we looking
I
at?
mean, because I feel like what's interesting is I don't know why I bought the ship and aircraft annexes because if you fill out these sheets ahead of time, I don't mind the PDFs, but I'm very print otherwise. So I printed out the new edition of the jump or the player's handbook sort of in the main rule book, but I figured I just wouldn't bother with the other PDFs.
I used to be the same way, but now I'm turning all in the PDFs.
It's
Yeah, if I had an iPad or something or like a tablet, I had a tablet briefly and it was okay, but I just am a paper kind of guy.
it's printed that way. So it's printed as PASBNS R2.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'll make a bet PA. I bet SA is the same thing as PBNS, but I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. But what is the R saying?
PA.
What does the R mean here at this point?
Rotary.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. So I didn't even know that. Okay, makes sense, of
So
course.
you so you did fill it out, right? I'm
Yeah,
still like
yeah.
trying to.
At least
Okay.
according to the annex.
Yeah. Okay. I was just still trying to decode it and find it.
So I think the next thing we're probably going to talk about is, I think you were kind of getting to it, was FC.
So when was the kid decommissioned? Because I thought I read it. It's like not in service anymore. Oh, there we go. 99. Okay. Interesting.
You were asking about effective ranges with fire control. A little, or you were hinting at it, Connor. So something to definitely keep in mind is this. This is one of the more important charts for anybody that doesn't have over the horizon. So the best you can get within the ranges we're kind of getting to. Well, right now it's 4, right, and it's a -2 on the fire control charts. But also to keep in the fact that the maximum is 4. So no matter how good you might think you are radar range, you still have to keep this in
Mhm.
mind, right?
Okay.
But here's the thing: with the Russians, they ignore this if they have an SST. So that's so Vremny is gonna be interesting. All right, so 61 and 80. I think we
It's one of your more important ships.
which is
And you have one of those,
yeah, which I
Peter?
probably should have put them back here. But hey, let's just simulate a mistake. All right. Yeah, I only have one of those. That was 88. No, not that one. 80 and 61. And we should be able to get cracking here.
Yeah, the Simplot is just so cool. Like that's when I was like, okay, I gotta get Harpoon. um,
Yeah,
it's
definitely. I don't think
it's
I could have
time.
learned it without it. I'll be straight up. It would have been difficult for me, just my brain, to wrap myself around it.
Yeah. Well, and I think the idea of being able to
There we
play
go.
remotely too is
All right.
huge.
So we're in an interesting setup here.
So your SST's range is crazy and already has us picked up.
If I went
It,
active,
yep,
yeah.
if it's on.
And so then I also get to, so if I was to go on and let's see, we're 80, 61. Okay, so we're gonna. Uh,
And if it's active, we have no better chance of detecting you though, right? With that, with like,
well, you would
how does?
know exact. You would have a passive contact, right? Um, if your helos were still up and had an active fix on me and they were data link capable, there's something in the newer. I did want to point this out from a new perspective or from an updated. Scheißen. Where is it? Look right here. This is new. This is new since that last meeting we had. Um, so in effect, if they were active, if you had your helo up and they were active on me, the thing that it's still a little iffy on is that at that point I think you could do a passive solution, but you would do it with a +1. So, for example, if you were within 25 and your helo gave you data link information, you could up yourself to here. There's other things too in regards to combinations of two passive fixes. Hold on a second. Where is that described?
Is there somewhere in here? Like, I feel like the book is kind of obtuse, of course. Is there somewhere in here that indicates sort of like what data you get from passive versus active?
Well, that's what we're looking at right here. So if you had Yes, passive only gives you bearing and cross fix. Hold on a second, it says it right here. A second.
Because that's the kind of like just I'm trying to think of like little basics that I really need to pick up, and it seems like that's pretty important to like just what do we know from our different detection types, basically.
Well, for passive, I don't know if you remember the other video we did, but for passive, you know the bearing, you do not know the range. Now, if you get a cross fix with another person, if you maintain that passive um, sensing, you might know a distance, but
Yeah.
um,
And was that when we did that last time? Was it like plus minus 15 degrees?
yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not very accurate unless you have the Russian systems and it's within plus
Yeah.
five. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So, like, at what point would two ships know what type of ship?
You wouldn't necessarily know. You can figure out. Here's the somewhat benefit of a passive detection. You'll know the exact radar type, so you would know that it's more often than not installed on certain types of ships, though,
Okay.
right?
So you
Like
start basically narrowing it down
you
based
narrow it
on what
down
data.
based on
Okay.
probably a combination. You probably more often than not would have a passive detection first, more than likely,
Yeah.
somewhat, unless you whatever,
So,
unless you
so
use
until you're in visual range, there's really no way of knowing what
the
you're up
exact one,
against.
and you definitely wouldn't
Okay.
know the exact ship necessarily.
So that's one of the
Now,
many big benefits of a helicopter, I guess.
yeah, they'll also give you visual, and
Yeah.
for the visual, there are different things you'll know. Let me see if I can get to that. That was towards
I've
the end
watched
of
too
it.
much Star Trek where like, they know
Here
everything.
it is right here. You see this right here? In 528 and so forth, there's other rules here too, and we'll get into it
Okay.
if we have to. But there's certain conditions of hull down, hull up, and then based on that, you'll know the ship, the type, the class, and the nationality. At most, you'll know that. So, and I think there's some other modifiers here. We'll get into it if we have to. Visibility definitely affects it and so forth. All right, so where was I getting at? Um, yeah, so if you turned your radar on, I would know the type, and we'll put an arc here to show that I know you're within that arc, within the range of your detection, right? And that's about it until you get a cross bearing, right? Um, there isn't the one thing that I haven't seen, and I can be corrected on this, is that if to in order to get a cross bearing, my thought is that you would have to be at least a certain degree difference, right? In order to have a somewhat accurate and beneficial cross fix, right?
Yeah, I've not seen any kind of
I
separation
haven't
requirement.
seen a requirement on that. The only time I've seen that mentioned is in the in intercept in chapter 8, which we will probably get into. Let me show you that. Avert your eyes, oh Lord. We do start getting that like this right here, bearing rates into bearing change between start and end of its movement. So that's the only time I've seen it. Also, a little bit here. So yeah, it's only more in intercepts that I've seen bearing come into closing aspect coming into effect, stuff like that. That's what we were talking about before. Oh, okay. So another way to get better classification is submarines with their sonars can get can classify to a much closer granularity, right? So if you're close enough to it and are quiet enough and they're loud enough, you can tell what type of ship it is usually. I think even in some rare cases you can even get it down to the exact type and even possibly even the exact ship if you know its
Mm.
irregularities. Um, all right, how about we just go for it? So we are at actually we're at 1500. There had been a lot of movement in that other image I had shown you. So we're actually into the early afternoon here, mid afternoon. We were at 1300, so I don't think I have that listed on the sheets properly. Let me go do that real quick. All right. So off you go. Why don't you go ahead and submit a tactical turns worth of information there, and I won't. Let me get out of there and make sure I'm not looking while you're doing it. Um,
Can you
so go
send that
ahead and
link
do it.
again? I can't. I close it. And I can't get that link with the screen up.
It should be in the. If you click on Game 3 Patrols, it should be linked there as well. So
Got it. Thank you. Let me open it
I'm
up and see what we
going
get.
to.
So, Michael, I assume we need to talk about this, right?
You can use the if you want. Go use the. There's a Saturday morning Harpoons Blue room. I set up for you. If you if
I would probably leave it here. I mean, we all need to learn how to do this anyway. So this is just
Yeah.
really a learning game. So
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I
and
mean,
I'm keeping the. I'm gonna be keeping the Soviets pretty simple towards you.
Connor, I'm thinking basically stay silent until we get a passive fix, since our radars are completely outranged by what he's got.
yeah. So is that the kind of thing we would know though, or are you using info that like we really wouldn't know? Just out
Well,
of
we would
curiosity.
know a monolith he can outrange us. We would know that,
Yeah.
and we can assume he has one. So
You can also assume that I might have lit it before. You know, like so. What I would normally probably have done is in certain increments I might have turned it on to see where you're at as well, especially as my helos came back. So I mean, so I'm out there.
Okay. So you go on active. We know there's a monolith T, and we need to
Yes.
stay quiet to minimize what you can find out about us.
You can go by yes, that has occurred. Yes,
Okay.
you know that a monolith T has lit within the
Okay.
last maybe 10, 15 minutes. I mean, I just need to
Okay.
go look at my speed rates here. I need to let me get some. Honestly, I need some. I'm gonna do mine on paper. So hold on one second. I'll be right back.
So,
I'm
Michael,
almost. Go ahead.
I mean, again, I'm totally open to suggestions, but you think heading straight at them? So what is that
No,
like?
no, no. If we straight at him, we lose some of our firepower. I'm thinking going down a course of about 130.
Okay, is that partially because you want your phalanx active? Like,
I want the phalanx and I want a
yeah.
broadsides
Okay.
available.
And so that would this is fun already. Let me look at the
Yeah, this is
because
the
my
first time
phalanx
I've.
is
I'll
different,
be
right?
honest. This is the first time I've done it live, so this is an
Yeah.
interesting feeling. So this will be teaching me as much as far as how to handle this live. It's a different feeling.
So did my updates appear on the document?
I will look.
I'm checking my phalanx just to make sure that your
Yes.
your suggested turn isn't kicking me out in a weird way. Okay, I think that's cool with me. Then I just wanted to double check that because my that phalanx is just sort of strange.
Yeah, don't.
Um,
Again, I wouldn't worry about that, especially. Okay, so these are right now we're in 3 minute increments, right? If we were within like 10 nautical miles of one another, and we were getting down into the minutiae of the maneuvering, yeah, I'd worry about it, but don't worry about it. You know. So
so
I will
here's
let you
another.
protect yourself. so
Yeah. So here's another question then, Michael. Why did you choose 15 knots? Like, is that sort of like a sort of half power, half speed kind of roughly,
For me,
or
yeah, that's about it. Half power, half speed.
and does that? I mean, I assume going
S-
faster affects our detection potential because
It
there's
would
more like clutter or whatever.
affect you if there was a submarine in the area. If there was a submarine in the area, if you I can't remember the exact knots, but if you were over about 21 knots, you would start cavitating, which means you start creating extra bubbles, if you will. So unless you there's no well, speed will affect. Let's see what else will it affect. Let me think about this.
I think it affects targeting also and passive stuff.
So
Yes.
a good. So are you just playing it safe? Like a good basic medium speed is sensible in both directions, right? Like we don't want to go too slow, but not so fast that it affects our targeting and detection.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, this is my
Okay.
yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Cause I'm gonna from 15, I can go. I can accelerate pretty easy, and I can slow down pretty quick.
Okay.
Now, after this game, I might have a different opinion of
Yeah.
that, but
I wish
Yeah.
I could give you a better. Hold on a second.
Can you do
I'm
we
trying.
need to
I'm
do
trying
I
to
need
see
to
where speed actually comes into play for the FC as
okay.
well. Let me just verify that. We might as well stop and take a good look at that because
Yeah, if I can see the Simplot when you have a
hmm
second.
yeah,
I
one
just don't
second.
know if I need to slow down and to allow you to kind of swing around me basically. If we want to keep me in the middle. But again, like I really
Um,
like this is fascinating to me. Like it's just
how many?
visualizing the plotting.
well, you got the
Um,
You're
biggest
good.
punches.
I personally feel like I'll just give you hints.
but
I feel like you're good.
does the furthest west parry have to go faster to kind of make that swing? Or is that the kind of thing like that isn't
Well,
worried
right
about? It
now
just
you
sort of
don't
like sorts itself
necessarily.
out.
You wouldn't know. Like like this, the Nicholas. Excuse me, not the Nicholas. Would, as far as he knows, I might be here, right?
Yeah.
You had monolith pings from a helo a while back, so
Well, I'm just saying, like, if we want to maintain that formation, how how do speeds have to
well,
vary between the three ships, or is it the kind of thing that, like,
well, if you
commanders are
go
just like,
if you
it'll
go
sort
20
itself out.
if you go 24 knots and he's going 15, then you're gonna end up a little further away each time, and then you might have a little bit too much of a spread. But if his SAMs have a reasonable range, and I think they had like a 20, like for example, this frigate could cover this frigate if SAMs went towards it, right? So the spreadage that you would want to be careful of is that to maintain SAM coverage between all three of you, right? So I think we already
Yeah.
determined that the OH Perry had about a 20. And then what about the kid? What is the kid's SAM's range? Is it the same? Let's go look at that real
Um,
quick. Where are you? It's yeah, it's
I
still
think
a
it's the
Smur. It's the
same.
same one.
It's 17 and a half, but if I'm in the middle.
Oh yeah, you do have the slightly less effective one. So yeah, you're fine in the middle. Actually, that was a great idea. I don't know if you planned it that way or not, but it was good for you to be in the middle because then you don't have to spread the.
Um,
I think you're fine. I would go as fast as. I wouldn't go more than maybe 20 or 24, so you don't get too
no,
far
I
away
don't.
from
I
him.
don't want to. I don't want to go faster. I guess what I'm saying is the furthest west Perry class. Does that need to go faster to kind of swing and maintain the formation as we had 130?
Possibly.
Does that make sense? Or
Yeah.
and again, like I don't know how naval commanders think about that, right? Like I mean, this is all again like I'm a history teacher
I
or
mean,
was.
I mean, I could speed it up, but I'm not. I'm just gonna keep it 15. I want to keep it a little bit back because
Okay,
it's
so should
I'd
your
probably
further east one slow down then?
no, it'll be fine.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just basically you're saying I'm overthinking.
If these guys, well, no, let's just walk through it. If these guys have the same course and they have the same speed, they'll end up same relative, right? If you are quicker, you'll end up spreading the triangle, but he won't be any further from him. He Both of these ships would be further from you. So in other words, here we can do it real quick if you want. Here, I can even show you. So he's going. What is your course again for
Going
the?
130.
130.
And you're gonna run both. I can help you if you get any trouble. You're gonna run both. You're okay with that?
Yeah, I'll run both. That's no problem.
I can help you if it gets a little taxing.
I think this is like the starting challenge with this game is just like visualizing and plotting.
Yeah. I mean, if you keep your group, again, no, you're asking the right questions, right? Um, I don't think you're gonna be too significantly off base. We are
Yeah.
doing three. Let's just take a look at it. I don't mind.
I guess I just worry that that furthest west Perry class will be sort of
Yeah.
behind as we turn 130.
If I did anything weird, you might be further away from me. Yeah. So it's almost you can only do what you know,
Yeah.
and it could totally vary based on where I go or how fast I'm going.
And I'm,
Some
I'm also trying to count it like I don't have 100% knowledge of where his ships are. Because like, as far as I know, they might be a lot farther
yeah,
to the west than I'm
or
thinking
yes,
of.
exactly.
Mhm.
That's fine. Yeah. Now
Yeah, I mean,
let's
my
just experiment with it. It's all right.
yeah. I mean, I
Where
guess
what do
what
you
I'm
want to try?
visualizing is maintaining the same
Here,
formation
I'll show you. Like, how fast do
requires
you
a
want to
bit of
go?
a swing. I'm going 15. I guess I figured I'd just kind of
Okay,
mirror
that's fine.
what
So
Michael was
what? I can't
suggesting.
remember what course. What course was it
One
again?
one
130.
three zero. Yeah.
All right. So if again, if you stay, and I'm not gonna move my ships yet, but if you stay, it will. Ooh,
That's all it did.
yeah. I'm gonna do this if you, but I'm not gonna. Oh darn it. Oh, that's the bad thing about Simplot. Oh God help me.
What's the bad thing? Sorry. There's no going
You can't
back.
do undo twice.
Oh, well, we just had an extra turn then.
Scheißen.
Yeah, we just did our first turn. Our first turn movement just happened.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to go back. I mean, to Michael's
Hold on,
point,
I
right?
need
Like,
to get mine up though.
yep.
Never
I'm
do
gonna
an
step over.
example and not save.
Be back in a second.
All right. Are we okay with just starting there?
Yeah, I'm fine. So you use Tabletop Simulator too, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in some of these, I might even be willing to do both. Kind of more of an illustrative type thing. So we're going to start this as 1506.
Be nice if you can put range circles on Simulator.
Yes. Yeah, if it had that, I'd probably use it for simple. For But there's still some really nice things about this, right? From the bearings and ranges alone, just being able to click on any one of them and see all that at once,
Yes, it is.
especially from a training perspective. But if you want to do this on the table, you're not necessarily going to have it unless you plot it all that way. All right. Okay, I think I was going to
So while you're plotting, I have another question. Like you all referenced some group.io. Is that like a cloud-based or shared server where files are stored? I know there was like a mailing list I joined and I've gotten very few emails from it.
The main,
That
yeah, I think it's the mailing list. Groups.io is replaced Yahoo Groups as the main file storage area, and it's very little traffic on it right now.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if you all wanted to set up some sort of shared like Google Drive or, something that I just didn't know, or if there's like a URL for that groups.io. But yeah, maybe it's just because it's so quiet I didn't realize it even existed. I've gotten like two emails all week about it. So
Yeah, what I'm doing is whenever I complete a ship form and stuff, when I play around, I finish all the ship forms for that one class, all the years and stuff. I'm starting to post them on that Groups.io.
okay. So do you mind posting the URL for that, or like maybe I have it bookmarked? I don't know. I'm just trying to like kind of figure out
I don't even know if it has a direct one.
like
Here, I don't mind looking at.
logistics, baby.
No,
Um,
that's all right. Hold on, let's go look. So what I do is I just tend to go. I don't even know how I. Yeah, there it is right there. It's groups.io. Here, I can pop this. I pop this into the
Admiralty
Discord real quick.
Trilogy.
Here, I'll put it into the the
Okay.
text room for
I
that.
think. Okay. Thank you.
Hmm? Alright, so boom, 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 boom. Alright, so I've played it dumb. I know where you're at. I'm chugging towards you, though. I'm doing 24. I'm kept at 0, though, because I don't know your exact bearing, because I haven't got anything on you. I did not activate this turn, at least. So let's go for it, right? Nobody's active. Nobody's... Okay, so that's 1,
So we can't find each other at all.
at least currently. Now let's take a good... Okay, so we started at... One other thing you always got to do, by the way. Always hit next turn. You can really screw yourself up if you keep doing movement and then not. So always make sure I hit next turn. Can somebody please do? Because so if you do movement and you don't do next turn, if you kept doing movement, I think it'll keep you. But just make sure I do this because if I don't do that and then I save it, then I save it at that point, but the time doesn't advance. This button advances time. Something to keep in
Hmm.
mind. Yeah, it'll keep you from continuing to do movement, but if I was to stop and save it, the time wouldn't be right. Okay. All right. So we started technically at 15:06. Right. We've done our one movement. So we've done 3 minutes, but keep in mind. Okay. So here's the thing. Let me make. I'm gonna mark. I'm gonna mark a time when I'm gonna go active. Okay. I'm gonna pre-plot.
So are we going ahead and plotting the next turn?
Yeah, but okay. Something else to consider is let's. You might want to maybe even write what your intentions are from a more of a standing order perspective too, or at least start thinking about it. Maybe even if you want to write it down and I don't look, right? So I'm not looking at your file. So if you wanted to go ahead and just kind of think about when you would go active if nothing happens here, all right? So what I'm doing right now is I'm writing down when I'm going to go active. Okay.
So don't we have a sense that so what do we know about the location of the Soviet ships based on the helo
You knew where they
detection?
were like 10 or 15 minutes ago. So
Okay,
just based on their
so we
course
know,
changes, based on their course changes or speed changes, you don't have the exact plot.
and so can you hover? We know we're like how many miles? 50, 60 nautical miles?
Yeah, you probably had a good rough. You had a rough estimate probably at the
Okay,
time when you were told it was probably like 70,
70.
65,
Okay,
70.
and what's our detection range with our active?
44
Yeah,
max.
and again, at this point, we're
Okay,
not going to use an evaporative duct.
and so I'm just talking this out, Michael. So stop me if anything doesn't make sense. Like how many minutes before we get within that kind of 40, 35, 40, where it might make sense to like turn on for a turn? Because 3 minutes
Yeah,
at
you wouldn't
15
know exactly.
knots.
So here's the deal. Don't compute it, but just estimate it and then
Okay.
write it down.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. No, I mean, I'm
the
definitely not trying to
no
compute
no
it to
no
be
no.
too
I
specific.
just no, because I don't know really either. So
Mm,
I'm gonna kind of make it more random as to when I'm gonna do it. So that's we're at 15.
I assume there's no duct available, is there?
No, I no. Let's keep it simple.
Okay, because our radar horizon's not long, not very far.
You are correct. You know what? We probably should add one. Let's roll it up. Give me a second. We're late August. Let's go through the process of rolling it.
so we travel less than a mile every tactical turn at 15 knots. Is that the right math?
About it. What see
Okay.
normally though, y'all tell me you plot it in 30-minute turn increments. You would
Hmm.
say for the next 30 minutes I'm going on this course at this speed, and the gym referee would go down there. Okay, set 15 minutes into your turn or this part into your turn, you hit this week, so we got to back it up to tactical turns.
Yeah, but
We're
we're
assuming we've
starting.
already
Yeah.
we're assuming we've already hit the 30-minute turn and we know they're there, so that's why we've shifted in the
Yeah,
tactical.
exactly.
Okay. So
And if it gets to the point where we're going too slow, then we'll get some standing orders going, and we'll just kind of advance it until we think that it would change.
Oh, missiles are going to fly fairly soon, by the way.
I think so. What was I looking for? The evaporative duct. I think it's further up.
So how many tactical turns do you want to take, Michael, before you activate our radar?
Probably two more. Or
Two.
once I see that metal come active or Soviet radar come active, I'm going active because I know he outranges me on that radar. But
You do,
radar,
but in game, would you?
yeah, but the
Okay.
radar horizon is only 23 or 24 miles right now.
Okay. Can you explain what radar horizon is then for me? That's something.
Okay, um, on it's the actual irregardless of the range of the radar. Radar is a straight line of sight, except for metals. The straight line of sight and the horizon blocks the radar. So yeah, there's a table in the player's handbook and
Yeah.
in the chart that tells you observing unit and target unit, and it tells you what the max radar range is based on the horizon.
And you said the horizon is what? Oh,
Uh,
here we go. Okay. So it's just the horizon column in the chart.
yeah, that's radar line of sight. On the
Yeah.
player's handbook, it's on page 5-6.
Okay.
All right,
Look at
we'll say that there is an evaporative duct for small or V small. Okay.
All right.
All
So
right.
there is.
So yeah, so that your parries will get it, and I think that my sovereignty will get it too because of the way that the Soviets put their monolith T's. It's basically treated as one less, which actually in my
So,
case might actually shorten my range.
so with evaporative duck out, I've got 55-mile range and 50-mile range.
Okay, so
You see
let's.
those tables, Connor?
Yeah, it's right below radar line of sight, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just still trying to like decode the table.
Like on the original one, look at the observing unit medium. You're a medium ship, okay?
Okay.
Then
Yeah.
go right until you find a small size, medium sized target.
Oh, I see. Okay. And so
That's
I mean, what does this mean though? Like, is this just totally separate from the radar, or is this basically the limit of our radar due to the
Evaporative
um,
duct. Yeah, it basically changes it.
it's
so
basically
basically the radar range doesn't matter as much as this chart?
It
no.
well, here's the
Yeah,
thing.
pretty well. It depends, but yeah, this is based on curvature of the Earth and the
Yeah.
evaporative duct.
Yeah, the evaporative duct, when you all were talking about that like a week or two ago, I was just like totally lost, and I'm still trying to figure that out. Like,
So what we need to do
the
here's
science.
here's what we need to also look back at though. All right, so there's also the radar line of sight. So what you're trying to basically the evaporative duct becomes your radar line of sight, but you still take the lower of your radar's range or the hold on a second, the detection range over
Line of sight.
radars.
This line of sight range or radar range, whatever is littler.
Yeah, and
So is that like 23?
the evaporative duct basically becomes your radar range, your line of sight range. Excuse me. So like, what were you as an originator, Michael?
44 miles for the when you originate in the
Yes, you're still limited by your radar,
44 miles.
right? But then let's look. So let's look at what you gained though. So you originated you were a medium, right?
Actually, I'm a small.
You are
The kid's a
small.
medium.
You're small going against a small going against a medium. If you were looking at my destroyer, your radar line of sight would have been 21, but now it's what we just said,
Small to small,
55.
50. Well, 50 to 55. And my radar range is 44, so
Right, so you're
I can
at
do it.
44.
Yeah. But I can detect up to 55 with superfluous contacts. I don't know if we want to get into that.
Yes, yes, and that's still yes, yeah. Mhm.
That's still very hazy for me.
That is hazy, and I don't know if the sit rep goes over that anymore. But yes, you are correct. If so, between what 44 and 55, you would
I know
know that I'm there.
that's it. I
Right,
know you're
basically.
there. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So
So can I ask another question? Like I'm getting a little turned around. Like so there are all these different numbers, how do you know which one, or how do those numbers relate? Like, how do you know which one is sort of like your limit,
The shortest one.
the shortest one? So why? But if the shortest one is radar line of sight, why are you going to the evaporative duct
There
number
is an
that's higher?
the well, the evaporative duct basically replaces your radar line of sight. That's the way to think about it.
Okay,
The
so if there's an evaporative duct,
You
that
use that instead of
supersedes
this.
any other number. Okay,
Right.
okay.
But
Thank
you
you.
still have a radar limitation. So as he just said, his radar limit, physical limit, the limitations of his radar is 44. But 44 is much bigger than, for example, 21. That is the curvature radar line of sight from small to a medium. You see that right there?
Yeah.
So this being present is basically extending him to 44 instead of 21.
Okay.
Right? Does that make
Okay.
sense? This
Yeah,
basically,
it's gonna
yeah,
take me a minute, but I think I get it. Yeah.
this just extends the line of sight.
Okay.
I think this part's one of the more complicated parts of the game. Get
It's
all this
subtle,
sorted out.
yeah, and just keep in mind that what we have listed here in our circles is radar limitation. So what we need to always think is that,
How does
for
line of
example,
sight impact that,
yeah,
basically?
so these guys suck, right? As far as their own radar limitations, it's horrible, right? And
Mhm.
that's kind of why they're potentially relying on him to give an active fix. They don't have the monolith T's, so they can't be given the the information directly, but they can get his. Let's see. He can pass the information to them as an observer. So what we'll do is we'll use the radio transmission rule for passing information. In which case, I think they'll get like one less. So if he had a good, they'd end up with fair at maximum. Something to that effect. We have to look at those rules when we do that.
Okay.
Okay, so again, what's visible here is the physical radar limitations. We're not doing the ducts here, but every time we look at it, we need to consider the fact that um, in this case, where is your? Did we not have this guy on? Maybe I turned it off. All right, so there's yours too, right? I think we just had that one on because it was a little bit easier to see. If you want me to turn that on or off as you get closer,
Doesn't matter.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with whatever.
All right.
So okay, so back to pre-plotting two or three turns, like trying to.
We don't need to do that unless we get bored here and want to do that, right? So we'll keep moving forward. Well, let me ask you then: do you plan on changing your orders?
Not until I get an active fix hit.
Okay, let's do that as a standing order then, right? Okay, so again,
Or 20 minutes has passed and my helo gets launched.
Is was it 20? I was trying to remember that.
okay,
Um,
all right. So what I'll tell you is that this guy is going active, and it's okay because we're gonna roll through it. This guy's going active at 15:15. All right, so let's just pull it up to that, right? And then, so is
okay,
everybody going to stay the same though?
sure.
Otherwise, all right. So
Yeah,
that's how we'll do it.
keep it
We
simple.
should negotiate standing orders because it's going to take forever if we don't. All right. So we're going to go. It's 5:12. We're going to go. It's 5:15. He's gone active.
You're active now at 5:15 or
Yes.
9:15.
Yes. And let's go ahead and just. You would pick me up as a monolith T. Mind if I just do it from him?
Go ahead. They have the same radar, so yeah.
Yeah. Now, what I usually do is I kind of extend it beyond where you see it. And then, based on he's going 130. It's going to be about this always and it's a 30-degree angle. something we haven't used. Oh,
It happened.
Yeah, that color didn't work out good.
why is that not visible?
Is that basically you're trying to show the location of the monolith T?
Yeah, but why is it not showing up? I don't know. I've never had that problem before. Degree. Let's just keep it 0.
Oh, I think it's the wrong direction. The start angle should be, for me, should be like, is that bearing or is
It's
that true?
relative. It's relative.
Oh, relative seems weird.
Why is it not showing up? Is it because I have circles going? Oh, hold on a second. That's why. You have to hit arcs, otherwise it won't work. All
Okay.
right, so this is 0, so that's going the direction you're going. So now I need to make it go like this. What not to do, everybody?
So those buttons down there basically are layers that you can
Yes,
activate.
exactly.
Okay.
Sorry, that was my
Okay.
goofballness. All right,
No, I mean this is all great that I'm learning this stuff. So
you can see me make mistakes. I'm always
no,
happy
I
to.
mean that's
No, I know.
yeah,
I know.
it's part of the gig, right?
Yeah, that's about right. So I usually would take a dice too and move it port or starboard a little bit. So, you know, it's in here. It's a monolith T. Now,
So
here's
we
here.
picked that up even though it's still just ever so slightly outside
Mm,
a medium.
you are correct, sir. But let's go look at your. Let me think about
Because
that.
you have to get the ES detection. It's pretty automatic, though, at that range.
Yeah, but it's also because the evaporative duct is there. Let's go look at that. I think you get it out to your. Now my rules brain has gone haywire.
Yeah, there's a
Um,
table with a modifier in it to tell you what it changes your range based on
yes, you're
past.
correct. Based on generation, and I was told that that takes effect. Where the heck was it? I know exactly what you're talking about.
What are we looking up? Maybe
Right
I can
here.
help.
This one right here.
Oh,
What is the
I just
ES
saw that.
generation on the kid? I guess is the most forward.
3.
So
Parries are
1.3.
2.
Okay.
That's
And
on
so
your ship sheet, Connor. On
yeah, I
lower.
just saw it. But so generation, like like even the most basic stuff, I'm still trying to wrap my head around. Generation is basically the designer's way of indicating what phase of development these different ships are in over the 50 years that the game is supposed to cover, or 70 years or whatever.
That's it. Rather than going each individual type of
Yeah.
equipment itself,
You can pick me up.
they're lumping.
You can pick
Sorry.
me up. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I interrupted. But you can pick me up to 71.5 miles for ES.
Okay. So they basically abstracted sort of the evolution of these ships.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
because
that's like looking at the annex, I was like, it's just it's just a lot, and that's
Yeah.
great, and it's brilliant, really. But just trying to wrap my head around some of this stuff. Um,
So again, if that was a
okay,
if
so
that was a fourth gen, it would even be further. So let's see how far away we are.
yeah,
Yeah, you definitely hit me. You definitely see me.
okay.
And let's see. Let's look in the opposite direction. I think I
So
definitely. I
should
think
we have set up?
I
Go ahead.
see
Sorry.
all of you as well.
Should we have set up the generation multiplier from the start? Is that the kind of thing that as we set up the radar like circles or whatever, the
It's only
ranges?
for It's only for
passive.
ES. It's only for passive.
Oh, okay.
Here, let's go look
I
at
am going to do I'm going to see if my ships will cross fix on your ship though using passive.
Yes, I think they would. So all these
But
ships have.
they're Gen 2 though. They're Gen 2.
Okay, so let's go look at that.
What chapter number is crossfix?
Crossfix. I just looked at it.
Yeah, I know I know you had it up, but
Everybody's supposed to remember everything I say. Because I sure as
um,
hell don't.
yeah,
Hey, I'm learning a lot just right now doing this. So
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's great. We need to do this regularly if we can. I mean, this
Yeah,
is
I want to do it at least once a month. If
yeah,
not,
super
as
helpful.
more often as we can. Otherwise,
See crossfix in chapter 5, wouldn't it be
it's right.
in?
It
Totally
is
missing it, I
right
guess.
here. It's at the bottom of the.
Oh, it's in
Give me a
6.
second. Yeah, there you go. It's in passive. It's 633. Passive art. Mining
So
approximately
why
smooth
is
process.
crossfix just in fire control? Like, wouldn't it apply in other?
Oh,
Like,
I
wouldn't it
can't
apply
do
to
it.
sound like radar too? I mean,
I don't have a near real time data link.
what is that? Your second generation?
Yes, you do.
Perry does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've definitely been playing it that way, and
Where are you looking on the sheet?
they don't have them on the sheets. That's the problem. But
Yeah.
wait for the sit rep because I think they have an extension to it and they say what types have what.
Okay, cool.
Do you want
But
me
I
to
think
double check in the annex? Or?
you have a near real time. The second gen is only your. It's based on this, by the way. I'm sorry. The what was that? What were we just talking about? God, I just lost it. Oh, data links. Data links are based on your combat system. So if you're a fourth gen semi, you definitely have near real time.
Where is that in the annex? I don't know if you mind pulling that
It's,
up.
it's
It's
not.
it's
It's not
not.
yet.
Yeah,
It's not even in the annex?
no.
That seems weird. Okay.
But it
That's why the sit
is
rep.
generally yeah,
Yeah, I
and
see. I didn't even know about those until maybe you mentioned it last night, Michael, or maybe that Dylan did. But yeah, yeah, a lot to keep up with. Okay, why would they not have that in the annex?
They forgot.
Oh, okay. So it's
uh,
just total oversight to include data link stuff.
yeah, but I think it is kind of generally spoken of. Hold on a second. I will let me play devil's advocate. Or
I got a
let
feeling the
me
next
play
sit
angel.
reps for the next half year are going to be a lot of Harpoon 5.
Well,
Let's
it
see.
should be right. I mean, theoretically, they need to support the. So Perry class is on A35.
Yeah,
If
it
you're looking
definitely
on the
doesn't mention
annex,
it there, but
I did. Yeah, I didn't see anything about it. That's why I was.
I'm losing it. Where? All right, this is when you just gotta go breathe. All right, I can't remember the damn data link section. I know it has to be right here.
Would it be somewhere in the
It
back?
might
Sorry,
even
I'm
be in
looking at my
six.
PDF and
It might be in six. Maybe I'm just thinking the wrong chapter. That's the only thing. Yeah, I think that's what it's. I know it. I know where things are relative to the chapter if I remember what chapter it's in. So
but I
just
mean,
bear
all
with
this
me.
is just good to learn how to navigate a dense book too.
Yeah, I think it's like right at the beginning of six. It comes right about. Yeah, I was. You know what the shitty thing is? I was already there.
What page is it? Sorry.
I'm trying to get to it. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Now, kind of the sit reps have stuff for all the Admiral Trilogy Sea Combat stuff,
Oh,
and
bummer.
they're very very similar. Once you know one, it's very easy to migrate to the other, with maybe
Okay.
this exception.
Yeah, when I taught American history, like I brought some games into the classroom, and this is, I mean, it would be cool to for some of the kids to get into the what's the World War II one called? Like, because kids are just so obsessed with World War II
Um,
sometimes. Is that the
Command and
command and
C.
command at sea? Okay,
there it is. Six three nine.
it's just
I
kind
was
of
right there.
little
Six
too
three nine
dense.
on six
6-3.
six.
Okay, so it's on
Hold
the
on,
next
it's on
page.
six
Oh yeah,
six.
data links. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right where it says data links, right?
Yeah. Why there isn't
I
an
was there.
index too?
I passed it like three damn times too, which sucks. Okay.
Yeah, I've been on those 2 pages in my binder.
Here it is right here.
Okay, first.
Here it is. This is what I was trying to say before, Michael. Was that you definitely have this because you have a Gen 3. You're a Gen 4 combat system. So, see that right there?
Wow, they hide that pretty good, don't they?
Yeah. Well, I knew exactly what it said, and I knew exactly what it said relative to other things that said, but I had no idea where it was. So, But there,
So you all think they're going to update the annex with that info in like a sit rep, like just add a really kind of a clarification
there's
potentially?
there's an article on data links as a there's an article specific to data links, and there's an article in regards to the evaporative duct, and it explains it very well. I definitely
So are
recommend it.
data links for like a dummy like me? Are data links basically like this ability to network pre-internet,
Yep.
Correct, and that's
like
why
radio style?
I think
Okay.
that's where the confusion comes in. Is that, and the article goes into it pretty deep. Is that it's not as good as you think, right? Or at least for this era, right? The era that we're doing
Hmm.
right here, it's not incredibly good. It's not very good. It's probably coming out on a
What
dot matrix.
what's
It's probably being printed off on a dot matrix. On the other
huh.
end, you know, it's not.
So it's not inaccurate, it's just slow
Is
to
speed.
transmit?
Is Yes,
Okay.
exactly, and they go into that.
Okay.
They go into the fact that it's good information but slow. And then the
Okay.
whole thing with fire control is you need speed, right? So you don't get it too much of an advantage. And I think that's why they eventually, by the way, I think they already factored it in to the data link plus one. Where was that? Where did we see that? Here. This is new,
Well, here's the
by the way.
what's
This
the
is new.
deal? So the last sentence of the data links entry, I don't know if I'm misreading this or kind of fixating. Fire control solution quality is based on the sending unit, not the receiving unit, but that would imply it doesn't matter if it's slow to receive. Am I misreading that?
This sentence is still a bit misleading, but I think, and it's
Because if
misleading.
it's printing out
I think it's
slow,
actually, I think this is still related to this.
It almost sounds like what it actually also means is the solution, the receiving unit solution, cannot be better than the sending unit solution.
but
You would,
based on what Peter said, it almost should be like definitively worse.
Yeah, but
Am
this
I
just says it can be better.
okay? I'm
so you're
probably
saying,
overthinking
like,
it.
for example, my Zadorn, you can't send its cryptic information over to the severity, right? Is that what yeah, right? So you're
And
saying
then it
this,
gets a real good. I can't send a poor fix over, and
right?
it gets become good when it got time it gets to the other
So
end.
what I still
Hmm.
find
I see.
slightly
Okay. Yeah.
misleading. What is this then?
Yeah.
This okay, and I think it's described in the article. Um,
So when is this new sit rep going to be out?
I think within I would. I mean, I don't. It's a guess purely, but I would say probably within weeks, not beyond a month.
And is this the first
It's an
sit
oct.
rep
It's
post Harpoon 5?
I Yes, and I think that they held off. It's a double issue, by the way.
Okay. So theoretically, it's a biannual Admiral Trilogy magazine that addresses all of their games. This is my like video
Correct.
testimonial. But this is going to be the only one yet to address Harpoon 5.
Correct.
Yes.
Although I think there might have been
Okay.
some informational. I can't remember who said it recently, but I think
Well,
certain older ones had maybe some Harpoon 5 data, but not explanations.
like the Turkish Navy in the earlier couple sit reps ago, that was all Harpoon 5 formatted. You didn't
Huh.
know it at the time, but it's got all the combat systems like just like Harpoon 5. You just don't have the data annexes. So you
All
have
right.
the Turkish Navy now.
Huh.
So let's say, for example, well, we wouldn't have a data link from the Severity over to the Zadorni of the right type, I don't think. Let's see, he's a third gen. And then, see, that's what I don't understand. But it's the monolith T system that allows me to do that. So if this, again, as I was saying, kind of like early in the match, if the Zadorni had a matching system, a targeting system, it those little dome shaped monolith T, then I'd be able to pass it real time. Um, but nope. So I think
Pass to who?
to
To
my
the.
frigates,
the
but I can't do that here. But I can radio them information,
okay.
which I think is covered. You should probably go ahead and look at that because we're probably gonna do a little bit of it.
So remind me
Everything's
where we are now. So we've made contact. We know we have passive contact of one ship,
uh-huh. And I
and
have
you're
active
targeting.
contact. Well, I have active contact. You can assume that based on it being a monolith T that I probably have a fix on you.
Yep. Even if I
Okay.
didn't know where ships are, that usually means yeah, I'm going to assume I have you see me. So in
And
other words, kind of there's no use for us to stay silent. I'm going full active when I can.
okay, now hold on.
Okay.
All right, so
Should
I
we
wanted to before we get
should
too
we go
much
ahead and
further.
start?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can go ahead and plot into the sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
What
ahead.
time are we?
We are at
1309.
15:0
15.
So I'm just gonna skip some
15:15.
rows.
Yeah, or just relabel it. Just copy them down and just label it as 15. Here, I can do it for you if you want.
I think we're working on it. Maybe.
Yeah, you go.
I
That's
don't
fine.
know.
We're just kind of gentlemanly skipping a few
Whoops.
increments. Yeah.
Like I said, this is just for me. It's a big learning issue for me. So
All right.
So do you want to maintain the same course, or now that we have a sense, we want to turn harder towards the coast?
if we turn harder, we're going to take some of our weapons out of batteries. So we want to stay
So
broadside. Cause I'm going to expect missiles incoming probably next turn or turn after that.
so you think like generally sort of a 45-degree approach or angle of approach minimizes how many weapons are kind of out of the equation? Is that what you're
For the
basically?
our ships, yeah, basically.
Okay.
But if I go full broadside, we should get most everything in play.
Yeah,
So
but
I'm thinking maybe go course like 110 or something.
oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I was suggesting, and I thought you I must not have been clear because yeah, I'm with you. Okay. I thought
Yeah,
that was
if
turning
I
towards
don't
the
want to
coast.
point my nose at them because my phalanx of the parries are out of play at that point.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think we agree. We just kind of
Oh,
talked
here we
past
go.
each other for a
They
minute.
actually changed this, by the
Um,
way. Look at this right here. All right, this is what I was looking for: sharing link information without data links. Active sensor contact data. As this is raw data, not a fire control, the best solution quality obtained is by the receiving unit is poor. So I can pass my active to them, but they'll get a poor resolution.
so here's like a broader question also, guys. Like when we know we're engaging, do we speed up or slow down? Like, I
I,
mean, does speeding up reduce fire control resolution
I
to the point
don't
where
see that. That's what I was looking at
okay,
before.
because I don't want to
The
I want
only
to be fast,
if you
but I
speed
don't want to
up,
be less effective.
the only difference is potentially distance, because distance does factor in. So if you speed up and I'm going fast, we're going to close faster, right? So if anything, if you wanted to keep my resolution slightly less capable, like for example right here, these are the bands you would want to consider, right? So if you speed up too much, you might get into a closer band. You know what I'm saying? You
Mm.
yeah,
could
but
you.
our
That's really it. I don't see a. Oh wait, actually, yes, there is a modifier right here. Sorry. Yes. See this right here?
Okay.
It's not. I mean, that's kind of why I stuck at 24. Honestly, maybe that's why that's in my mind. Sorry, but if you start going up above 26 knots or more, then it starts to affect.
Wait, but that's contact speed. So
That's
don't you
the
want to be going faster because that makes it harder for us to hit you? Am I misreading
the
that?
contact is my target. So if I'm firing on you, if you speed up, I don't understand the logic necessarily behind this or this.
so basically if I go 26, you can't that's a +1, isn't it? So
I
if I say slow, you have a worse modifier to hit me. But
Why
you're
would that?
active. It doesn't make any
I
difference with
don't. I
monolith
have
T.
to. I cannot imagine that this is correct right here. Can you?
What are you rolling? Are you trying to get high?
What I would think is that something's got to be wrong here, right? Is it me? Shouldn't these be
I miss
shouldn't these be positive? If they're really
what?
slow, I can get a better resolution on them. I don't get what this is.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Let's see how the examples show it. How about that?
So you want to roll high for fire control? Is high in this game, is high always better than low in every type
Not
of role?
necessarily. No, no,
It's
no,
like
no.
old AD&D.
Yes, exactly.
Um,
This is the
okay.
AD&D of miniatures games, by the way.
um,
I mean that as
yeah,
a
that's weird that.
compliment.
Well, I mean, I love AD&D. It's
Yeah.
just like as a beginner,
I'm
it's
just
like
trying to
third
find a.
edition.
I'm trying to find a an example that shows anything other than zero. Let's see. So far, I haven't seen. You see how I'm just looking at some of their
See,
contact
it's really, Hunter, it's really not a die roll. It's just how it changes the column on
resolution.
the
Yeah.
resolution.
Oh, so this is all just charts.
That's it. Is it up or down on the chart?
Okay. So is down on the chart better than up? Consistently.
You want. I think it completely depends on the table you're looking at, but
Okay.
normal.
Okay.
You want that contract. You want pluses are good, basically, for us.
Right.
In this case.
In this case,
Okay.
yeah. So I don't
So you
understand
think
that.
that you think under 5 knots should be +2, 6 to 10 is
I
+1
would think
for passive.
so, but
Is
so
that the kind of
why
thing?
otherwise would this be
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
down? This should be plus, and that should be
Well,
plus.
I'm just throwing this out. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you're in touch with Larry Bond, I mean, it seems like the kind of thing maybe you could ask him. But like maybe a slower contact speed, the contact or the target has better defense systems. Like maybe somehow it like sort of points to that
Hmm.
in like a really tacit way, like, oh well, they're phalanx will be more effective, or is
It
that
might
so
be what it
separate that
is.
it
It might be the fact that if it's so slow, it's not computing for it. It might be the fact that if it's so fast, it's not able to compute it as
yeah.
effectively.
Well,
But
Larry's on the Discord. Maybe we should ask him that sometime.
I'm sure I'll hear about it because they're probably gonna watch this and then it's, oh, you goofballs, we said it on. No, I'm just kidding. Uh,
Yeah, they might, but that explanation I think would be helpful for
all
sure.
right, so let's
Um,
see. I just want to see if the jump start maybe even had an example where that was anything other than zero.
Okay.
Just
Look at the acceleration. See what I can accelerate now.
all right, hold on.
so, Michael, you're going to speed up? Is that
Yeah,
what
I'm
you?
gonna try going 25, but I need to find what my acceleration
Okay,
is.
so far I haven't seen anything
Yeah,
that
that's
is.
where I like tuned out one night when I was
Oh,
reading
here
my
it is.
expenses.
Here it is, right here,
Wait, let me get to the screen.
right here. I'm gonna put this into the. I'm gonna copy this into
Make it
the.
harder to get. Why? I wonder what the science is behind that.
Hey, I'll. Yeah. At first, it makes it look like it's a typo, but that's that explained it.
It's not, yeah, but well, it clarifies it, but it doesn't explain it to me at least. Like, I
All right.
wonder what the science is, why it would be harder to get a solution for a slower ship. I don't know.
Very interesting. That's the first time I've ever thought about that.
Learning.
I've always just gone to the
Okay.
table, done it, and just not even questioned it. All right, so that's cool. All right, so where are we at? Let's start getting some missiles flying here.
Hey,
Um,
Michael, where are you on the acceleration?
I'm looking at the player handbook ship speed change table at the very near the very beginning of it.
What's the number of the table? Maybe I can find it in the. Does it have a number? Oh, here we go. I see
Page
it.
3.
3, 2.
Small CPP. Okay.
Size class B.
CPP from 0 to 75% is 18 knots a turn.
That's how much you can accelerate in a technical turn.
Yes.
I mean, my max speed is 31, and I'm going 15.
Hmm. All right, I'll show you something here in a second after you're done.
Can you Oh, okay, you're on it. Okay. Oop.
Yeah, if I'm ever not on the map and you need me to be, just yell at me.
Yeah, that would be one thing is like if we were all able to share the Simplot at the same time, like I don't know what I'm not a programmer in any way, so I don't know
You mean a
how
remote?
hard
You mean
that
like a
would be.
remote takeover type thing?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I told you like I bought Advanced Squad Leader too, and like that Vassal thing, something like that for
Oh,
Simplot would be super handy.
I mean a vassal module for this would be good in that regards too. I'm gonna be.
Yeah,
I need to step away just for 1 minute. Just need to power my
sure.
phone real quick. I'll be right back.
So, Michael, why are you pushing it to 25? Just if you can talk
I'm just,
about.
since I know he's a monolith T, so I know he outranges me. I need to get in range with my radar before I can actually get a better fire control solution.
So you're just trying to close the distance to
Now I am,
compensate
yes. Now
for.
that I know where
Okay.
he's basically at. And I don't know if I can go to 25 or not. It says 18 knots, but 21 knots is my 75% cap.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to read these sheets.
Okay.
So, question: if acceleration from 10, I can accelerate 18 knots. I can't go to 28 offhand, can I? Because I got to excel from 76 to 100 is different.
And we're in 3 minute increments. I can't remember the ruling honestly. Let's go back to it. What? How much are you
I want to
trying?
go 15 knots acceleration.
Yeah, the chart's on 3-2. Um, I'm having trouble
Size
reading
C,
this.
CPP, normally 18 knots to 75%.
But to me, like I read that as that's how much you can accelerate in a tactical turn. I don't know. That's okay. Max speed.
Okay, so we can go. So
Yeah.
25 knots is quite doable then.
Yes.
Does that
Yes.
mean you
That's the
can
way I read
go?
that.
You can accelerate up to 18 knots within a tactical turn, no matter how high that is.
If your speed is less than 75% of your max speed, yes.
Your starting speed.
Yes.
Okay. Whew, man, my brain hurts.
It's not as
Yeah, it's
bad as
kind of
advanced
worded.
squad
It's
leader.
worded interestingly, but no, I get it now. Yes, you can go to. You want to go to 25? You said.
Yeah.
All right. Are you
So,
all done with what you're thinking?
well, I don't have my speed yet. So, should I? I don't. Again, I'm like not able to necessarily understand the sheet exactly because I. What's the percentage? How do you know the?
That no, you can go however. If you're looking at the sheet, the percentage is based on. Let me look at your sheet. I think I have it.
If you
The
can
percentage
show
is
me.
based on.
Your
This is for
max speed.
damage. This is your
Yeah,
max
max
speed
speed
based
for
on
damage,
damage.
yeah.
So in other words, if you're
So my
below,
max speed is 31.
yes,
I'm going 15. Should I just bump it up to
you don't. You
20?
wouldn't mark that here. So this is just as you take damage, your max speed
Okay.
reduces.
Yeah, the percentage threw me off because I'm like,
Yeah,
that's
don't worry about
damage,
that.
not
That's
speed.
that's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totally separate. Okay. Yeah, I mean, do you think I should just match your speed then, Michael, or should I
It's
slow
up to
down?
you. I think you should to stay in. You can accelerate 15 knots right now because your size.
Yeah, so I mean, I can bump it up to 25, but I didn't know if you wanted me to slow down a bit so you kind of we didn't have this like me out front. Maybe I'm being a coward.
That's up to you. If you want to stay at 10, that will kind of even us up a bit.
What do you mean stay at 10? Stay at
Stay at 10
15?
knots. That way, my two ships that come up beside you. We have more of a line. We'll
So
line up better.
you want me to actually decelerate?
Or stay at 15. I'm sorry, stay at 15. My
Oh,
bad.
okay. Um, and my so are you turning on sonar basically because like obviously we don't know that there aren't subs out there? Is that your
Well,
logic?
I'm actually not even worried about sonar right now,
Oh,
but I would wait. I would do my subs for my halos for if I thought there were subs out there. I'm just turning all my fire control radars on.
okay.
And that's what
Um,
both sides will probably assume that we'll launch our helos more. They're ASW helos mostly. So once we do
can
that,
I ask what time did the refueling begin? Maybe in the special
it
instructions we could
was
like indicate
it
like
was it was at 1506. So at 1526 you can take
wait,
off.
wait. Okay, so we're hang on. So we started at 1500, not 1300. Okay.
We start. Yeah, exactly. When I said
Okay, let me
and
fixed
we
that.
and we more accurately started at 1506. Remember how we jumped in time a little bit at the beginning
Okay.
there accidentally.
So I'm just updating the spreadsheet because we had it on
Here we can I can mark on there
um,
when how about I'm done plotting my stuff. So I'm like, so like at I'll just make a note down here at so that 1526 helos can take off.
1526. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
I don't
put
know
the number
necessarily how
in
much
the
benefit that'll be, other than them being active and you being passive. And in which case, if they're active and they pass you contacts, you can get a poor resolution fire, which actually is not that bad.
yeah.
Poor resolution is a 30% chance of being on target, at least getting the missile where it needs to be for its seeker to be on target. So if you were to do it's probably better than a bearing only launch, but if you wanted to kind of remain passive, once your helos are off, you could let them be active and then keep them out of SAM range. We'll talk about it as we go.
Yeah, but I
Don't
have to go
overthink it.
act. I'm just going act because when I have those missiles come over the horizon toward us, if your radars are off, it's a little bit more harder to stop the things.
Is there any layer to Simplot that shows our previous like the lines in the plotting
Yes, I can show
chapter?
you. Oh, um,
Because like it's weird that there's not a
well, here I can
sort of like
try.
where we're pointed, basically,
Here,
if that
you
makes
do
sense.
speed leaders like this. You
Oh,
kind
okay, cool. Just so that we know like the weapon system's
actually it's kind of
directionality,
neat. I'll simulate a Aegis going off. And
something
you
like
can
that
also
might.
do trail. You can do tracks too. So it's like tracks of tears in the sand, right?
Yeah, just something so we know where we're pointed.
Well, I'll leave the tracks on. How about that? Then you know where
Cool.
you came from at least. All right, ready to rock?
So what's our distance? Are we still
Um,
like
We don't know yet.
45?
I mean, we don't
well,
know. We don't
well,
know.
you went active, right? You're
I
going
thought we
active.
picked.
He's
Yeah,
going active,
next.
so he'll know it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We don't know. We just know direction or bearing, right?
Right now, you know the arced bearing, so you know he's
Okay.
somewhere. He's somewhere within this arc, somewhere within this range, maybe farther.
Okay.
You see him, so you know
Yeah.
the max of your ES, which was
Yeah.
71. So you know
Yeah.
he's
I think.
within 71 nautical miles within this arc.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
next turn we should, once we go active this coming turn, we should be able to have them on radar.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's an interesting element of like trying to remember what you
The one
actually see and what is on the board.
Well, here's how that works. Normally, you would just see that,
Oh, okay.
right? So, I mean, yes, you know what? I probably should be doing that as we're doing this, just to kind of let you see what you actually see. I'm sorry,
I mean,
but
it's
this is
fine.
what you would see.
Okay. Cool.
Now, watch.
This will all
This
this will
no,
all
no,
come
this
with
is good. This is
practice.
good training because this is what you need to do. So wait a minute.
You just showed a bug in Simplot.
What did I?
Yeah, turn off the red. I'll show you.
Hold on one second. I just want.
Now,
Just give me 1 second. Okay, now this one you mean?
turn off red. Yeah, keep it.
Oh,
Keep your
it's on
ships
blue.
off. Now click on a blue icon.
Yeah, you can see the bearings of the other guys. Yeah,
Oh,
that's a
huh, I
bug.
was
That
wondering
is a
why
bug.
that popped up there.
Yeah, that's a bug. That shouldn't. That tells you where the ships are at.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And I've
We
made
just
that mistake before when I've pasted maps. But yeah, so yeah, don't do that.
who's the developer of Simplot? Is that the kind of thing we can like?
Kenneth, he replied to my previous video. I can get his name. It's Kenneth. He's on. He's the main operator of Harp Gamer, I believe, or a
Oh, okay,
co-admin there.
cool. Gosh.
And he already had some. Um, he already had some ideas about improving kind of the ability to merge files in kind of more of a PBM or PBEM style. And there was something else that he talks about in the sitrep, the one that's coming up, that about the red and blue files. I didn't even know that there is a red and blue file generated, but technically, as you're doing this, it creates the current red view and blue view. So you can actually send a red view Simplot to. I can show you what that looks like. So in here, there's always a red and blue. You see how there's a blue and a red? You see how it matches? It should match the time I saved this one, right? You see that? Speaking of, let me save this.
I moved that Helo's note over to the side just
Yeah, that's fine.
because
So,
we'll have to
and another
plot
thing,
more.
save occasionally. Okay, so I just saved 1515 at least. Um, all right, so let me show everything. Do you want to still see it by blue right now? But here's the thing. Now, red, this is what I see because I'm active. So this guy actively sees these. You see that?
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And let me
Yeah, I think a
make
lot of this visualization helps.
let me make it. Let me think about that for 1 second.
It's
The
just
range,
super
though,
cool.
I think the range is exactly 50 on the no versus small.
Yeah, with the Horizon, you're 50. Then you get an additional bonus.
But I only get the bonus on yes, right?
Yeah, there's another one. There's another modifier plus the monolith modifier.
Right, but correct. But I thought it was only for ES.
Oh, sorry, active. I'm thinking passive. Yeah,
Yeah,
active.
yeah. So I
I
think you're
think
right.
you're,
You're
you're right.
right on it. Right there, right? Right? This guy was as
Yep.
close to not being in mine as possible. But I have all three of you. But I have no. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna. Okay. Okay. Are you ready?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hit next turn before we can see where we start
Okay.
seeing
So we're.
things.
All right. Here we go. So we do. We've done plotting.
Yeah, we
We
do
actually
movement.
need to plot. We need to plot missile fire too, don't we?
Are you firing missiles?
But we have a. Let me think about that for 1 second.
You don't have a very good fire control with it yet.
Well, we might as well openly talk about it. As I go through the entire book.
What are you looking for? Maybe I can
The
help.
fire control one for the. This is what I
Yeah,
want.
6162s.
So you're at right at the 50 mark. Active 50. I ignore over the horizon issues. Combat system though. We're active, so nothing. Contact speed. What's your speed right now?
25.
So there's nothing there. It's not an aircraft. Distraction decoys are not in play. Seeker. Gen mod. This doesn't really take into account until we get it closer. Let's go look at the Seeker, the Mosket. Its range is 52. That's what I was also looking at, by the way. Yeah, I don't think he'll fire right away. No, I
Yeah, you got a fair solution right now, I believe, don't you?
think so. And will that pop up after one? He starts here. Nope, I'm sorry. He starts here. Yes, you're right. One more, right? You see that? You might as
Yeah.
well know this. You might as well think about this. You gotta start thinking
Next
about
turn
this.
to be next turn to go up to good.
Yeah, I think that's probably what he would do.
That's just for the one though. Are the other two
These
closer, and now already
guys,
good?
these guys right here. You mean these
Well,
other guys? I could at
whatever
best,
ship. Sorry, go ahead.
at best right now because I don't have. They don't have the same data link gen, right? I don't believe. At See, here's the thing. I can radio them the contact, and at best they can get poor.
But don't you have one that's within 50, like
Right,
that? Yeah,
you're
the
right.
furthest west one.
Correct.
So wouldn't he be uh, good for all three
He
contacts?
no.
Because they're all within 50. Again, I'm just trying to
If
like
I
read this
fired
chart
on
and
him, that's 44.7. Hold on a second. Let's look at that again. No, I'm still within this range band. See? So he starts here at the 0 mark,
Oh, it starts at fair. I'm sorry. Okay.
and then we start moving it based on all this other jazz, right? Passive note again. I think we didn't have any modifiers. Did we end up with any? No.
Does that stuff move the contact track?
Yes, it
Is that
does.
what?
It would move it like
Okay.
this. This is so any if we ended up with a net of -1, I'd come up here. If we ended up
Yeah.
with a
Okay.
net +1, I'd end up here. And the one thing to keep in mind is as non OHT systems, which are yours, the this also comes into play. You gotta keep this in the
Hmm.
So, yeah, we can't get better than fair, no matter what.
which honestly that's a 60% chance of being hit on.
What do
I
you mean
mean,
we can't get better than fair? Can't we?
if I was within this range, which I am, and you fired on me right now, let's just say you had an active contact, the best you can do is fair because you don't have.
Yeah, this round. But if we close within 35, we can get good, right?
Yeah,
Is that
Yes,
what
under
that's okay?
35.
but
So
you
you just
also
mean
you
this
also
round?
need to
Okay.
put that on there too.
Yep.
So yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Phew.
Another yeah, a benefit of being Russian.
Ah,
Yay. Okay. Yes, I would wait around. Right. I think we're concluded at that. And I think I'm gonna wait on these guys because I think at best I can give is yeah. All right. I think technically I would wait one. So you're plotted out.
I think so, I am. Are you, Connor?
Let me
yes.
see. So you're changing to 110.25. That's these guys. And the kid changed to
No speed change, just
110.50.
110 still varying.
Okay, let's make sure I did this right. I had saved it as well before I did this. Alright, so I'm doing the movement. Boom. It is the next turn.
Okay. Let me know if I find anyone on active radars.
43, 45, 48. What is your type?
I think the kid's in. Was he at 44? Crazy.
Against a medium target.
Yeah.
Um,
Or are the Russians small?
this
They
guy's
have
medium.
2 smalls and medium like we got.
Alright, so I'm trying to. What is your radar type? Is it an SPS 55? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you're rough. I usually check.
Be right back.
I think let's start 0. Make it. I think this is just a 10-degree marker because they have a little bit more better granularity. Make it a little bit to the left, maybe. All I'm depicting here is the fact that I know you're active, right? I have your contact, but I now know it's an SPS 55 as well. So that would be like we were talking about before, whether or not there would be additional information known over time that
Yeah.
might be able to classify you.
Narrowing down.
But you
Um,
all have FPS 55, so I wouldn't know if it was. I don't know if you're a medium or a small. I went. I just used the logic as you were closest as far as how
yeah. I should be able to detect. I should have a clear contact on you also, though, right?
Yes,
Because
you
you're
now
within
have a
44
mono.
miles,
Well,
or is that a small?
you have a mono. He has active
Is
for
that
me.
I'm back.
furthest?
So these, did you go active on both of these, Michael?
We're all, yeah. Everyone's active.
Everyone's
They're
active.
all
So
active. Technically, I
then,
probably only should do the kid, but they're all active.
But your destroyer is
okay, so that means you
within
probably.
44 miles, and he's the medium one, right? So I should have
I think you
a
know
clear
all. I
contact.
think you are my. I am contacts for you now. All of them, I think.
He-
Correct me if
He's
I'm wrong.
But the Perrys don't see them yet, do they?
They went
Well, then we
active
get
too,
into like,
Yeah,
or
but I
did they?
think I'm out of range on the Perrys.
yeah, I think they're a little shorter. Let's see.
So yeah, but I
No,
can't. I can't
you're
say who of you sees me. I'll just say that he sees me, right? Actively, at least. But you would know this as well, right? You would know the SPS 55. Excuse me. You would know my mono is active as well. So let's look at both
Yeah.
sides. So, no, wait a minute. Why? Oh, that's because we changed that. Probably a little bit more than that. Something to that effect. So let's look at blue side. Make sure it's right. Yeah. So he actively detects all three, but you also know this mono. Okay.
Wait, how do I detect all three?
Are you within range of all three,
I
or
don't.
only
I think
this
I'm
one?
only within range of that one, the furthest west, the destroyer.
You are correct.
Yeah. So I think, and so I think you might double check, but Michael, your what's it called? SPS has a
Same one you have,
yeah.
44 miles.
So the question is, are any of yours? Is that one within 44 of either of yours?
No,
Yes.
I'm not. No, I'm
Okay.
not.
So
You're
it's
the only one that
I
sees a
think
per
you're the
ship.
only one that can probably
okay.
fire if you
Okay.
want
Because you
to.
got to be close, right? I mean, 46, 47. Peter, can you highlight the contact that we have so I can see how far away? Yeah, so you're 47 and 48. So
Hmm.
close.
So you could fire, but your resolution. Okay, let's walk through that. Let's just say you were gonna fire. You would be within this range, active, right? You're
Max fair. Yeah.
and you're neg 1 on this. So this is your first turn. This is your first contact turn, right? So you're very similar to me right now,
Yeah, but he starts at -1, so it starts at poor. So
right? Because of this, right? And it is over the horizon. Yep. The horizon, I think, was like, well, the
23,
horizon. Yeah,
23.
but the horizon is based on the evaporative duct.
Uh,
Is it?
that's 50. It's not over the horizon, then, is it?
Yeah, but I think that's what that means. Let's.
Your destroyer is the medium, right? So it's 55.
Hold on.
It just says it's not over the horizon capable. So ours are not over the horizon capable.
Yeah, I think we need to do
Where
that.
are you
That's
reading that?
it's based on this right here. Solution quality is lower if you're not OTHT capable.
This is the Russian advantage.
Yeah. Hmm.
That goes back to the monolith T stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
I basically just ignore that. So basically, I mean, just holistically here, I'm a turn up on you, right? Roughly, because you just did it, but I will have a fair. No, I'll have a good, right? So right, I think I was here, but then I'll be here. You're here, and then you're gonna be here, right? Next turn, right?
Seems that way.
Okay. Um, Plot next turn.
Okay.
Do we know do we have any sense of how fast that contact we picked up is moving? Is that info
At
that we just don't know?
the second turn, you would. So if you just
Okay.
saw it, but you had monolith the prior if you have a cross bearing, you would know it. You would know my speed if you had a cross bearing, and I think you did, or did you? You would have a cross fit. You would have a cross fix, and you would know that I'm getting closer at a certain speed. Let me go look at that real quick. I think that is explained up here.
Michael, do you mind making a row for mine, or would it be 1518 to 1521? Am I? Does it skip that minute or?
You would be 1518 to 1521. Yeah.
It. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
it
think it
includes
matters
that
too
minute.
much,
It
but
includes that minute,
if
yes.
it, I don't know. Is there a situation where that kind of stuff is going to matter? I mean, just out of curiosity,
It
or
will once missiles fire.
okay. So Michael, do you want to just kind of maintain the plan, or do you want me to pick up the speed a little bit? Uh,
Prob- I'm thinking maintain the plan because that way I'm getting more of online with you.
okay. So I will. Hey, Peter, when you have a second, can you show the Simplot again? No, no big rush, obviously.
We're basically in a rush who gets a better fire control solution first to fire this stuff.
Yeah. What's your max speed? Speaking of,
Do what now?
what speed can you max out at? I didn't know if it'd be worth if you can kick. Oh, there. Oh, so
Yeah,
I'm looking at that context speed chart, right? And like, if you bump it from 25 to 26, it says passive mod -1, but are we now in active?
We're active.
Okay, so it doesn't matter unless you can go 36. Okay. I
PBSB.
assume you can't go 36, right?
No.
Okay, cool.
We're gonna have a bunch of missiles pretty soon.
Well, that's exciting. I like that I'm just in my music studio and not on a ship.
Oh, they're both
Here's
bow.
okay. Here's another question, Michael. Oh, I would have to go down to under 5. Okay, I didn't know if I should like jam on the brakes to be harder to hit, but maybe I'll think about that next turn. Um, okay, I'll just maintain the plan. Oh, I'm gonna go outside. My old dog might need to. She's a little rough.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be back in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember where the table is for if the salvo's on target?
The FC.
Yeah,
It's
that
in.
one.
It's in. It's in the 6, but it's. Oh, here it is right here. You mean the placement chance?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's not worth shooting off at poor.
What are the modifiers? Active. Where are those weapon placement modifiers mentioned?
Okay, what did I miss?
We're just going over the placement modifiers if they shoot a salvo if the salvo missiles goes in the right direction.
Oh,
All right.
so
So
he fired?
Not yet.
what I
Oh,
just got
okay.
confused about. This is the base. What the heck? When do these come into?
They might have just added them in there.
This is all. I mean, you already resolved it. The resolution is already done. So what the heck is this?
Yeah, but that's after you resolve it because you still might make a mistake somewhere and your solution might not be as good as you think.
Yeah, but where are these modifiers described?
Right there, you're under them.
Oh,
There's only a couple.
oh, these are the. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I thought they were computing it based on other tables. So these are the only. Oh, okay, okay. Oh wait, that was throwing me off. Is that? Wait a minute. Where I thought there might have been tables per each of these, right?
Uh,
For some reason, that was throwing me off. All right.
so what does this mean, weapon placement?
Weapon placement is getting the missile into a place where its seeker can do what it
Most of
needs
it.
to do to the intended target. We'll see what happens if it misses.
So is it basically like hit location,
It's getting it in the right place at the right time.
like
Would
the
be the
most
way to put it.
effective? Okay.
You're basically trying to get it within its seeker head distance and be able to be within an arc to get what you're shooting at. So if you miss the roll, it will go to the next best target within weapon arc. So we'll see if that happens. It's not going to like disappear. So that's why I was kind of mentioning before not being too close to one another,
Yeah.
because if I miss, then there's a chance it'll hit one of the other ones.
But they also have some caveat in there. If ships a certain distance apart, they won't. Well, yeah, you're right. You're right. Disregard.
Yeah, I think it's
One thing
based on
I'll
the
throw out,
seeker.
Michael, we need to be sure your easternmost parry is not too far from the other. Like, I feel like I'm worried we're kind of drifting at all. Like, are we the same distance? 17. Okay.
At this point, you're going the same.
We're pretty
It
close.
looks weird. Yeah, I think when you were
Okay.
coming this way, it looked different. Yeah, I think it's just a
Okay.
perception.
I just want to make sure that your what is it? The SAMs? Is that what we're trying to maintain? SAM distance
Yeah, you want to be able to
to
cover each
cover
other.
each other?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you play,
Okay.
Tinky? Tinky.
You plotted.
I, I,
Yeah,
yeah, I
they're
think
plotted.
that's what we did. I'm forgetting
Just
what
make
turn we're
sure everybody's the same. Reading as such, everybody has maintained.
Yeah.
Okay. And let me make sure. I think I have to. All right. So I'm going to show all sides just for start. And let's do a movement. All right, we are.
Now let's see who sees what.
Yeah, it seems like that middle frigate should be within your range.
I'm
And it's
hoping
within
so.
mine.
This one? Yes. Wait, no. From here to this one? I don't think it is.
Which one?
I'm just at a range of all three of your ships, aren't I?
Yeah.
How about the other Perry?
Yeah, I was going to say that's the one I was. Yeah, the eastern one.
Just a little bit.
What's the range? 44. Damn.
44.
Spacing and thinking it was 50. Is it mine that's 50? We have the same radar, don't we?
It is, but this guy's
Yeah.
in it. And this guy's almost in it. This guy remains to be and you're tracking this target. So at this point, you'll end up with a fair resolution if you fire.
If it's a fair, I think next time you ought to plot the fire.
Is that step one instead of like
It's
saying
part of the
fire?
plot. It's part of the plotting for next turn. To me, I would, because I have a feeling You can have eight missiles incoming pretty soon.
So basically, try to get something off before I go down.
But he might have already fired. You never know.
Yeah. Um.
Right now you got 4 of them.
Oh, we picked some up.
Yeah. I put the, of course, it's right on top of you already. No, I'm just
Please,
They're
no.
fast, aren't they?
yeah, 69.5.
Give me a chance here, Peter.
Well, you got two parries beside you to help stop this. You said there's 4.
Yeah. Well, you don't know.
So is this where the phalanx is used, or the SAMs, or both?
Both.
Both.
Okay.
And then we're gonna turn.
And is the phalanx, is that like a minigun kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a Gatling.
Okay.
It gets to fire twice within point blank. Don't forget that. It has a capability. It's a very capable system. I think it can fire twice within P.
I think you're right.
All right, so then this needs to go back down to 5.964.
Yeah, it's weird drag and drop.
Yes, but all right. I'm going to save.
Wait, where'd your ship go?
It's under it.
Oh, okay, it's directly.
If you
under.
okay, here's another Simplot thing. Always just keep this quick twice. And if for some reason you need to modify, you can right click more than once too. So if I needed to modify the destroyer, I'd do that. If I needed to modify the missiles, I would do that.
Okay.
So now I actually have to. You got to kind of. So I'm gonna put them at 3513, but it's not gonna. It's coming at you. I'm gonna make it say 3513, but it's coming at you. And the speed is much quicker than that.
You can slow it down. Feel free.
972. And now we're gonna do some maths here in a minute. Okay, so this was plotting. It had been plotted with the movement, but we have done the movement.
Yeah, so it moves next turn, doesn't it?
Moves next turn, so it's fired, and we save and just make sure we're at the 521 mark with the. Did I do that right? So it's
Is it?
plotted with the movement, but it does start, does it not?
Then I think the plotting's after the movement, so I think it's next turns when it moves. Same time the ships move again.
You're correct. You're correct. I know you're correct, but I just want to see it. I believe you.
Oh
Totally
yeah,
believe you.
always. I mean, hey,
I just
I'm
want to
learning
see
this.
it because I just wanted to. If I have to relay it, plotting, movement, plan, fire. All weapons ordered to fire are fired, but they don't move until the next turn. So it's being fired, and it will move in the next movement. Okay, makes sense, everybody. It was plotted. We moved, and then it's starting. It's being fired.
Yeah, they're not in the air. They haven't moved yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Guess we plot next turn.
Yep. And I'm gonna do a nature break. I'll be right back.
So, do you want to just stay on course, or do you want to swing it closer to 90? Or
I'm thinking I think swing it closer to 90.
I mean, the only trick is we really, if we don't know where the other two are, we're gonna almost be at like a right angle to them, and I mean, we don't know where they are though, so I mean, I guess we shouldn't obviously decide based on their location.
Let me swing mine to 100. See if I can get a close distance just a little bit.
Do you want to so you're further east, Perry, do you want to maintain course 110 with that and then swing the westernmost to 100 and so we maybe tighten the formation a little bit?
Good idea.
Right, like where you I can't remember the names. I wish I could like hover over these and get the names. Whatever the westernmost one is and mine, we do 100 and your easternmost does 110. And maybe that tightens the formation. I'm just like practicing visualizing it, so I'm trying to talk it out. Am I crazy? Or should that work? Am I overthinking?
Yeah, that should tighten the formation, and next turn we launch helos if we're surviving. But we'll see.
So here's a question while Peter's gone. Did we do the math wrong on the turns? Because he has it as 1526 helos can take off. Did we like skip a minute?
We started. The 20-minute delay is not exactly dividable by 3.
Okay. I didn't even think about that. Okay, cool. And you think I need to launch something, right?
Well, you might. You have a thing is you only have a poor quality. You have a 3 in 10 chance of actually being on target if you launch.
I thought it was fair now.
It's fair after this turn. Yeah, wait. Yeah,
I thought it was poor and fair starting this turn. Maybe we'll ask Peter.
Well, let me look at the sequence of play there. It might be. We ask him. It might be up fair on this launch.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was poor last turn, and then now that the turn's passed, fair.
I would probably plot weapon fire. You want to fire your harpoons?
I have no idea. I don't know what these things are. Is that the?
It's just a Harpoon 1C. Or...
Yeah, it's like
Mark 32.
Yeah,
it's like 84. Well, something.
Here, I'll open. Hold on a second. It's the Mark.
So I can only fire 3, I assume.
No. The Mark 32 is torpedoes.
The Mark 141 is your missile mount.
Oh, 41. Okay.
Yeah. You can fire 8 harpoons actually.
Where is your mount? Okay.
And I probably would recommend salvoing them off.
Oh, there's harpoons. Okay. You think I should just bombs away?
Well, if you don't, we risk losing your ship. Because if we think we can stop an incoming salvo and keep you intact, don't worry about it yet. We'll wait another turn to get to a good firing solution, which almost guarantee you'll be on target.
Yeah.
That's just part of.
Can I fire all 8 though? Like I'm looking at the arc. Can I only fire 4 because the way I'm angled?
Let's take a look.
It might.
Because that's why I like the idea of keeping a sense of what direction we're pointing.
I mean, even if you didn't write that in, if your intention was to get, you're fine. But you're gonna have to change your course. It's okay retroactively to say that you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is just part of the fog of war, though.
Well, you knew where I was.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
You knew where I was, so if you wanted to make a last minute turn, literally, it's
well. Here's the deal. I don't understand the PSSS. Like that gives me an impression I literally can't. Even if I were pointing directly at you, I couldn't fire all 8. Am I crazy?
Yeah, you're right. There's some independence. You can fire 4, do a port change, and fire the other 4.
Yeah. I just want to make sure.
So then we would need to at least determine how long that would take. Would that take a 30? Is it safe or?
It's a 3-minute turn.
No, I'm saying how.
To turn to fire the other side.
Yeah, but technically it wouldn't take 3 minutes for you to turn, right? So we just need to. What is the rate of turn? Within 30 seconds, can you make your? I mean, in other words, yes, there would have to be a delay in your firing. But I'm okay with.
I feel like it makes sense just to fire 4,
and then immediately the next.
And then next turn, I'll have like plotted a different course to open up the other side. Does that seem most realistic?
It is, but we can go ahead and change to 30-second increments.
What? Does that happen?
We can, if you ask, and we're gonna have to anyway because my missiles are firing.
I don't think
Is
we. I
that
don't know, but we don't do any movement in this 30-second increments, do we?
You're right,
wait?
technically.
What is that in the book somewhere? 30-second turns, or is that?
No, it's 30 second. I mean, you can make your turns however many. It does say you can make them as long as you agree necessarily. I believe that is written there. We can
Interesting.
agree to it being anything we want. Hold on a second.
Is that something that Simplot accounts for?
We can get it down to several seconds. We're gonna need to use 30-second increments for the missiles. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
let's just stick with three
that's
minutes while
fine.
we can.
That's gonna affect me too, potentially.
I'll go ahead and, I mean, I'll go ahead and fire the four, what would
Yep.
be starboard
hmm
harpoons.
Right.
So I guess
So
I
my
can just,
assumption then is that at the end of your next plot, you will be in a position to fire again, but you can still maintain your direction for now. It's not that big a deal.
Okay.
so is this what it looks like in the spreadsheet? Just fire, do I put fire? I don't, I mean, I don't know if that's necessary,
That's
but,
it.
You might want to just say at whom, but you only have the one
yeah.
contact. You only have the one active contact, so
So
you might.
what would we label that?
I
Ivan,
would
Ivan.
probably see. I wish you could mark. Actually, I probably could. So like if we did this for reals,
I mean, we would
I
label
would
the
probably
contact, would we?
label it. Yes, I would give it another
Yeah.
name. So if I would just say name, and if I no, not name, but there's like an alternate class.
Why don't we name it
Yeah,
Dirty Ape?
there's a way to give you an alternate class. Yeah. So if I said this was S1, which is usually kind of how certain things are. Oop, show why am I not seeing the class? Because I have this. No. No. Why? I thought I could do that. I thought I could.
Name the contact.
Yeah. I thought I could do it like
I thought
that.
you had it. Like I can't see the.
Hold on a second. And then maybe that.
What's perception?
That's what I was already modifying.
Oh.
It unknown is fine, but I'm trying to make it show the alternate. It's still not doing it. I could have sworn I did this recently. Is it just because it's.
See, all I've got is a poor fire solution because of the. I'm using data links. I've not got them yet. I'm using your stuff, Connor.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Right.
I
You,
mean,
you know that to
if,
be S1. That's your S1 contact. This and
okay.
they'll just go up in number as they become a contact. Um,
Okay. So I
so
just put that in weapon launch fire
yeah,
four
we're good.
SS harpoons at S1.
Yep. And you didn't change any speed or direction otherwise, right? Or somebody did.
I did. We two of us
Yeah.
changed to
100.
100.
All
Yeah.
right.
The two
Mm-hmm.
westernmost ships. We're
Both
trying
of
to kind
these,
of.
both of these did.
Yeah, we're trying to get a little closer formation or tighter. Uh,
Wait a minute.
Not too
I thought I
tight,
already
but
did that.
100.
that one was 100. The eastern parry was 110 because we're trying to bring the two on the west
Mm-hmm.
a little closer to it.
And this one is.
That's 110.
Wait a minute.
That's the only one that's 110.
Hold on a second. Taylor is 110, right? That's Taylor. 110.
Yeah, it'd be nice
These
if we had the
guys
names
are
under
100.
like on top of the ships. I
I
don't know
can
if
do
that's
that.
something that's possible.
Yeah, I can do that.
Just because I'm just like the westernmost, the easternmost. um,
Give me a sec. No, what is going on there? Why is it not showing? Oh, maybe it's because I don't have. Just like before. It's like, why is it not showing? Because I don't have it showing. Okay.
so what did you just?
I
Look
hit
at the Rush.
the
Look at the
sex
Russian ship
tag.
now.
Yeah, that's because I put everything on it.
And now you got to go back. That's funny. I got to remember that layers button for you.
Number class. I think we were just doing this. You actually would know the heading speed. Um,
Cool. Yeah, that helps. Oh, why is the other one called just OH Perry? But it had a different name. Am I
I
crazy?
think we deleted
Taylor.
because I probably didn't.
Okay. It's no big deal.
Like
Just as
that.
long as we have some.
There you go.
Cool. Okay, that'll help me. Just
Probably wouldn't know these names.
my brain.
Okay, there you go. You would know. This is S1. So this is where I would do that. I would do perception S1, and that's why it wasn't showing up. Oh, still didn't freaking work, did it?
Did you label the missiles? That's one.
No, I was on. I was
No.
on
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I think there's a bug right there. Do you see that?
Other screen. What's wrong?
Why did it not show again? Ah. That's the alternate class showing class, but it's actually showing this. That would is that a bug? See how this is
It
not
might not.
selected?
It might be a bug. Looks like it.
Yeah, it's alright. Alright, so where are we at? We got the missiles. These are already going to be in the air, and you are plotting yours to fire, right? So
Once we do movement, we see how far they get.
alright, so at this point though, we need to start plotting the 30 seconds. So I think we need to look at the speed is 972. So we do 972 divided by 120. 8.1 nautical miles per.
Can you change the turn interval to 30 seconds on this thing?
Yes, we can. Just gonna need to make sure that everything's plotted properly. Yes, they have not. Why? I thought I put heading and speed on those. Oh, that's why. Yeah, the destroyer is not going 920, 972. Here we go.
So what are you putting in now?
I am putting in the missile speed, and also we need to check what type of approach
Is
this is
this
going to
the
take.
is this the harpoon you're
No,
putting in?
this Mosket. My missiles are coming at you.
Oh, okay.
Mosket at 3. We need to go look at. Is that a terminal missile? I don't know what those markers are. Mosket. Alright, we have to go look at that.
What's a terminal missile?
We need to know what altitude it's going to end up at. Is this going to come? If it's going to go very high and then come down, or if it's going to skim. I don't think this is a skimmer.
You want your opponent to have ones that come in very high.
And that is a.
What chapter is this? So I can start wrapping my brain around it.
Hold on a second. It's
Is
the
this
types
SAM
are
intercept table?
right, but the types are mentioned. Oh boy,
Altitude
back in
targets.
7 here. Not there. That's not what I'm looking for.
There's a chart of anti-ship missile secret acquisition ranges.
Right here, these are the things I'm looking for. Is the directed guidance methods for these, right?
741.
Right, but then I need to look up the Mosket, which I just don't know off the top of my head. I'm gonna leave it 0 for now, but let me save.
Yeah, but that is going to matter with the intercept chances a lot.
Yes, it will. I just want to save it so I don't lose anything I already did there. Alright. Mosket 3M80.
See, this is great that we could do this over the internet because sitting down to do this in person would take so long, and I just don't have the stamina for like a 12-hour session. But
Well, yeah, it goes quick at this point, somewhat.
yeah, but
So it's
yeah, I
very
just like this idea of being able to chip away together periodically, um, and it'll get quicker when we learn the rules better for sure. But
Look at
this is a
that.
very low cruise missile, size of small.
But look at that. The speed is different than what they wrote.
oh, I thought you all implied this was like a
See that?
high altitude.
I was hoping.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought maybe someone said.
This is incorrect. You
Okay.
see that? Unless it's got no. This they wrote it wrong. I don't know where they got 972 from. It's 1650. I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this for now, so I don't have to look it up again.
So it's moving a lot faster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, just so we can get to it again.
But who did the weapon, the ship chart?
For this one, a player did. All right, so it's a. I don't get why it's PRH or I. Okay, so, and where are those mentioned again?
What are you looking for?
TIRH. That's what I wanted. Infrared homing.
That's your Krivak you're firing, isn't it? Krivak?
No, it's the Severity. It's the destroyer. It's this one right here, the Severity.
Okay.
And it's firing Mosket 3M80 or 4 of them. This is wrong. I think that's what they flipped these right here. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
I'll look up the gadflies later.
Here, I can do that really quick, maybe.
Here's one TIRH3, which honestly I can't remember what that means. Is that the generation third?
Generation number.
The last digit is?
Yeah.
But what is the first part of that? Right
Terminal
here, this one right
something
here.
radar homing.
Infrared. TARH. Did I just do that wrong? I did do it wrong. It's this, right? But what is that first Roman numeral?
I think Gadfly is 1652. Just looking it up.
going with this, right? It's a small target. Seeker range is 20. It's very similar to a harpoon.
Wait a minute. Are you targeting me though? Because I'm a medium target. I
Correct. 25.
was like, feel free to target Michael, but I think you were targeting me.
Seeker range of nautical miles. So the seeker acquisition range is 25. So generally speaking, that's where, and then it's automatic. I believe if you have a good, then it's automatic, but poor, you had to say exactly where you want it to activate. The only thing that's throwing me off here is what is that first Roman numeral? Am I being daft here? This one right here. What is that?
Well, is it a Roman numeral or an I? What's PRH or I? I mean, decoding some of this is going to take me a while for sure.
Let me see if it's down here.
First gen
That's the
countermeasures.
remark. Those are remark keys, though. Not that's these keys, not what we were looking at.
Oh,
Guidance gen. Guidance gen. Maybe it's at the front of it. I'm gonna go with the last digit being. I think it's the type. I think it's the guidance. PRH or I. TA. I'm going with TARH, third gen.
I think it is TARJ because it says PRH or I. Then it's got the slash of the other kind. So
yeah. Does this is the slash a divider between two
Yes, but
kind
I
of
don't. I
groups?
honestly
Okay,
don't know what that first would even mean.
my brain is getting
It's
soft. I'm not
passive
following
radar,
this.
homing, or infrared. I think that I don't know why there's an or there. Honestly, straight up, I'm going with a TARH. We can get an answer to this later. I'm going to go with the TARH3, which is basically the equivalent of a harpoon. 1650 very low cruise. Again, I think it's similar, right? Very low cruise is what within 30 within
yeah,
10 meters.
stinking fast.
What is the very low cruise? Is that 10 meters?
I think it is.
And this is 10. 1650. So that will greatly affect that calculation we just did. And it's probably simple math, but not for me. All right. Not. So 13.75 nautical miles per 30-second segment.
And as long as we can skip to it 30 seconds, we really don't need the calculator, do we?
It's good to know. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It is
I
good
just
to
like
know,
I like to
yes.
know how to do that because if you were on the table, you'd have to do that. You kind of need to know that because then you have to. Now we have to start doing ranges here. So what I'm going to do temporarily is turn all this junk off. So bear with me as I just pacify some of these.
Is there somewhere in the book where it talks about like 30-second segments or like just that sort of agreed upon division of time?
Chapter 8.
Great. Okay.
First part of it.
I mean, it makes sense because if it were 3 minute turn, it would have hit me.
Exactly. That's why we have to do this.
Okay.
But what's a little bit unfair? What's a little bit unfair is that I mean, technically, you should be able to fire. That's why I was talking about 30-second movement increments, gentlemanly allowing you to fire after you're able to turn your broadside. You know what I'm saying? So technically, you should be able to, and it actually might even be an advantage, oddly enough. to have a staggered salvo. Um, we, so yours aren't even going to move until the next 3 minute one anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't really come into account until then.
No,
But
they're not. We got to survive this
yeah,
first.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me take off this as well. I wish there was a way to um, kind of pacify across the board and then re-add. All right, we'll get through this and we'll try to get through your salvo too. Is that agreeable? Time wise, it's like 11:45. Hopefully,
Sure,
we
sure.
try to get through both salvos at least. All right, so let's turn to Psalm 8. All right, this is for me one of the best chapters in the book. It's the clearest chapter, and it points to the tables very well, and it basically bakes its example into this description of the rules. Just I'll call that out. For me, this is the clearest one. You should be able to go back through this chapter and um, understand it probably at least more straightforward than some of the other ones. All right, so we do a detection range. Ship's air search. Okay, what is the range of your 3D? So it'll be the kids 3D. Range, it is a very small, correct? Is that what we.
So what's
No, it's
3D?
small.
What is it? What does 3D stand for?
That is,
Just a different type of radar,
it's
but
a different type of air search radar. It's a more capable air search radar. It'll give you the altitude, which is necessary if you're going to fire beyond 15 nautical miles at this incoming missile.
no, three-dimensional radar.
So let's. This is a signature small. It's a pretty big missile.
I thought I was thinking very small. I have 35 miles on it.
Mm-hmm. So your range from here. Oh wow, not bad at all. It's a bigger missile. That's why you're gonna see it quicker. So it's well within the. So the detection range is beyond the firing range. You see that? SPS 48C. SPS
It's
48C.
interesting how the jump from very small to small is so huge.
I'm gonna check that honestly. I think I did this sheet, but you never know. SPS 48C. Let's just check that.
In regular surface search or air search, searching for very low targets, half range, right?
That is correct, but is that the same for 3D?
No, no, I'm looking about regular air search, not 3D.
Yes, yes, yes.
So against small range on it, I can do 75 miles with my air search radar.
Okay, okay. So you definitely see it too.
You mean?
Yeah, detection range. You will detect it as it
Okay,
takes
movie.
flight. And bear with me. Just that
Mm-hmm.
seemed like a big jump, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
What?
Should it be in the back, like
Yeah,
in one of the tables?
but I don't know why we didn't just pick it up. SPS 40. Oh bugger! Oh, are you kidding me?
So
Why would I not see that? There we go. It's because of that. Yeah, that's it. Actually, they're wrong. No,
what page is
that is
it?
the jump. A J2,
SPS 40 what? 48?
48C.
Wow. Okay.
It does have a
Interesting.
big jump, but that's because Well,
Difference between very
it's
small and small
big.
is probably huge.
It is pretty big. It is a pretty large missile. That's all I'll say. So you definitely see it. And Michael, you definitely see it as well, right? You said you were beyond 70, right? So detection range is well beyond where it's firing. But now we need to do the next step. Detection
Did you
moving.
already advance the turn? The
No,
turn,
not
like, is
yet.
our okay?
Not yet. Because we're just doing these detection ranges. We're just setting out the ranges. So
Okay.
you with your 3D, you'll see it coming at as it's launched.
Radar horizon's only 22 mile. Medium to very low. It's a very low target, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means he's got a 24 mile radar
Limit.
horizon. No evaporative duct. I got a 22, I think.
So there is an evaporative duct, but
But against air targets, I don't think it works, does it?
Doesn't look like it.
I don't think at that. I don't think at that altitude.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
it
does say
does. I think it does
very
up to
low.
low.
Yeah, it's only very low does the evaporative duct. It looks like
Oh, these are very low targets, so it does then.
that'll help.
So what can you? Where would you detect it at with that 3D?
65.
But you still have to use the
60 miles. 60 miles.
right.
Yeah, you would use
But
60 meters.
um, you still go by the limit of
Of the radar, yeah.
yeah. So that was
He sees
what.
it when they're launched, basically,
Yeah,
I
he
think.
sees it when they're launched, and then move the missile in 30 second increments. He's still not going to be able to fire until you're within the SAM range, anyway.
That's
All
correct.
right,
But right
so
now, the timer for the combat system delay starts since he's detected it.
until it reaches the detection. So we're there. We're already there. That's why I haven't moved it. So this is the earliest that the ship can detect it. Reaction time. Roll 2d6.
Yeah, but we haven't moved yet, though, have we?
No.
We got to move this turn before we do anything, don't we?
We're in 30-second increments now because the missiles are fired.
Oh, so we did move?
Not yet.
So we move and then we switch increments.
No, this is simultaneous. These
Yeah,
missiles are in the air.
yeah. We're basically splitting up our 3-minute turn to a bunch of 30-second increments.
Correct.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right. So, but we need to do the delay. We need to figure out the delay
Yeah,
before we do this.
but yet you have to do the movement. That way we can detect them and do the delay.
We're already within it, but we need to determine how much delay there will be for you to have reaction.
Okay.
We need to determine where that will be, and then we move. Reaction time to delay in 30-second increments. So I need a 2d6, and we compare it to. Why have I lost it again? Where is that other chart? Combat system reaction time. There it is right there. What is your combat system generation?
4. All of our ships are 4.
Okay, so that's 2. Okay, roll 2d6. You want to do it? You want me to do it for you?
Yeah, go ahead. You're the referee. Roll them for me. I don't care.
Is there a bot on Discord?
Yeah.
Oh, there is. I didn't know there was a bot here for that.
Yeah,
You know what?
I didn't either.
I didn't bring it in though. Damn it. Do you have 2d6 handy? I do. Hold on. I do.
I don't. Yeah.
I didn't invite the bot into this server yet. This is the first game that's being run on this server, so sorry about that. All right, so rolling for you. I rolled a 5, so that's gonna give you. Shouldn't be too bad. So that's +1.
Oh,
So it's gonna take three increments before you can do something. So let's.
Okay, can you roll for the Taylor and the Nicholas for me, please?
Okay. Okay, so for the Taylor, rolling 5.
So wait, what, Peter? What did you just say about like Is that a modifier that affects the normal delay that's in the table
Yes.
above?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. It's an adjustment. Nyquist got a roll of 7. So Taylor got a roll of 5.
Okay.
And
Nicholas
Nyquist
has
got
no
7,
modifier.
which is no modifier. So this is one of those cases where rolling high is better, by the way. And there's a few of them. I think they reverse it. Whatever. Makes you think.
Yeah, there you
Um,
go.
Data
A
link
positive
Q.
spin.
I don't know. It's not a Q in this case. Okay,
So so
so hold
what's
on.
this idea of a delay? Is it X increments no matter what the time increment is, or does it?
It's based on the increment of the movement. So here, we'll do it here in one
So
second.
because we broke it into 30 seconds, the
Correct.
delay is two or three 30-second
Increments of
segments.
those.
But if
Yeah.
we were in a 3-minute segment, it would be 6 to 9 minutes.
Correct. So right now,
Okay.
I'm gonna move it forward. We're gonna move forward 2 increments, and
Well,
Nyquist.
And I will be dead.
go ahead. Well,
Um,
Connor, the delay doesn't count in 3 minutes. This is only for 30 seconds.
Yeah, these are
okay.
30-second increments. Yeah.
Or
Okay. So now that we know
maybe.
that, so we know this reaction time to find the delay in
So
this.
basically, as soon as missiles are on the board, or I assume jets on the board, it has to break into 30 seconds, or just missiles.
Correct.
Just anything moving
When any
crazy
miss,
fast.
yes, exactly. When anything's crazy fast, you slow down. This is where I don't what I but you needed that, you being blue side needed that extra 3 minute turn in order to get that better resolution that you were waiting on. You know what I'm saying? So there's a little bit of
Mhm.
funkiness here, but it goes both ways, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's only
Yeah,
so much like realism that can be baked into a
right.
game, I guess.
Otherwise, it'll be a
Well,
computer game.
well, the delay basically is your system found it. Now you have to have the humans making their decision on what to do.
The
Yeah,
So I got to tell the captain, or I got to do this, or whatever. That's a second delay.
we need
Okay,
a
hold on. Let me
cyborg or
make
something.
sure the three ships.
So if this is fourth generation, is sixth generation like late 21st century or like early 21st century kind
I
of?
think
And
so.
then like
Yep. Yeah, like
I'm
very
fascinated by how
recently.
they decide to like segment it, basically.
Basically, higher the generation, the more automated it is, pretty much.
Yep. It's funny how far computers have come since 1987.
Sorry, I'm just reading
Oh
this
yeah.
before I can engage intercept.
So
Count
I've got to wait
delay
2 and then 3 increments. So
and mark
first time we can
spot
engage
to
is at two
engage
increments
and
after you
make
launch.
sure the ship's.
But we have to. Oh, right. My harpoons don't launch for 6 increments, right?
At the end of this turn, yeah, during this turn,
Okay.
that's when they launch.
All right,
That's
so
not good.
I let me make absolutely sure that I've saved this. We're still on the
Yep.
21. We've just adjusted it, but it's the same thing. All right, now worst case scenario, I can go back. All right, so before the Nicholas will be able to react in 2 increments. Okay, so we're gonna go forward 2 increments. At which time, if they can, Nicholas can react. Right? Are we okay with
That's
going forward?
correct.
Okay, so we're gonna go forward 2 increments. 1 increment.
Can before you move the next, just another question. Are your missiles basically definitely destined for me, and it's just a matter of like, can we react in time?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Don't worry, there's other percentages involved here too. This isn't definite whatsoever.
Okay. But you're like kind of like locked on as much as you can be, and we're just like watching them come in.
Right, but this sucker's fast,
Yep. Well,
and we might,
trying to watch.
even though we, so even this 2 increments, you're about to see it, right? You just saw how far we went.
Hmm.
That should be 13.75, right? See that?
Yep.
So that
So
was.
basically, the Nicholas is has got to save my ass. Basically, is that
It's looking like it might be,
okay?
but I only shot
Otherwise, it's
half.
just going to be luck.
I only
If
shot half
you
my salvo. I only shot half my load, if you will. You only have 4 of these coming at you, thankfully.
well, that's yeah. We'll see how
But
the
I'm just
game.
saving for the rest of you, right? I had to. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep.
I don't know. Probably that was my decision point last time. Do I fire everything at the kid or not? And I was like,
Hmm.
I don't know. But whatever. We'll see. All right, so that's the
First increment,
one.
yes.
That's one increment. All right, so then we advance time, as I was saying.
Hmm.
We do another increment.
Man,
Yeah, it's a
Now the
critical.
Nicholas can react.
All
What's the
right,
range?
the range from the Nicholas
that'd be
is
like 15 to 20. Yep.
18.3. Is that within your 3D capability?
Oh
And
yeah, my
Gotta be.
3D
Yeah.
capability is 35 miles.
okay, so what is your SAM's capability?
25 miles.
So you're able to fire. Okay, so now we need to do the other tables about how many things you get at each increment.
Yeah.
And God, this is where it gets a little crazy.
Is this also where the phalanx comes in?
It will, but this is where we. So we're up to here. We just checked the
Hang
intercept
on, hang on.
range, and we just
Oh, okay,
checked the SAM range. So keep. What was that
okay.
SAM range again? Your just give me that.
25, 25.
Okay, what's the minimum on it?
Minimum 2 miles.
Okay, so that means you are able to do one point blank. Sounds like.
Yeah.
So that's within point blank. Okay, that's good
What's
to
this note
know.
in what you have highlighted, Peter? The if the missile speed is 500 to 2,000 knots, the intercept range is 1.5 times the. Why would it be? Why would he be able to knock it farther out when it's moving
No,
faster?
it's when you have to. It's when it's base reaction. It's reaction
Okay.
time built into it, sort of. It's in
Ah,
order to be able to intercept you. It describes it. F pole
okay.
calculation, intercept an oncoming buoy just as it enters the maximum SAM range. So, but in this case, you're within the maximum SAM range, so
Hmm.
you wouldn't need that, right?
Okay.
So, in other words, if his SAM range was below 18, he could fire it preemptively, if you will, to make it like, let's say his max SAM range was like right here, oh, like right here.
Hmm.
He could fire it already, knowing your missile will be in range by the time it
Yep.
gets to it. Right?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now I need to kind of slow down, as if I haven't been slow enough. Let's see. Okay. So now we have bearing rate. Measure the bow's bearing change between the start and end of its move. All right. We're closing, right? It's closing on the target, but not on you. Okay. Punch the table. Find the SAM intercept table that matches the bogey's type. Okay, it's very. We don't. We're cruising, right? Where are the SAM intercept tables? Here we go.
Eight
It's a.
eight for very low.
Yeah.
You said it's 18 knots away.
Yeah, but
My
hold on one
nautical
second. Hold on one
miles.
second. We're actually probably high. What are we? Medium supersonic? Oh, what is that damn range?
Does this basically say we can't intercept it until it's within 15 miles?
Just hold on. Medium, short, medium. The intercept range was within here.
So you're low
I,
supersonic,
I think you're right.
and so basically you go to the next. You go to. I can't engage you at the medium one range. I have to engage you at the short range.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a fourth generation. I
Hold
get
on.
one shot. I get one shot at you. Basically, one
Just,
S.
just, just. I don't. I hope
So
it's
we're
what
not
you're.
within range
No,
yet.
hold on a second. I hope it's. I hope it's what you're saying. But the intercept range is actually here.
Yeah, but notice
There's
kinetically I can't hit it.
yeah, there's no shot.
So then we have to just.
Go down.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Never mind. Rewind.
So basically,
Yeah.
this is why it's good that we were within like 8 or 9 miles.
So
But
we're here,
yeah,
right?
You're medium
uh,
altitude or low altitude?
very low.
Very
But
low.
you said low supersonic, right?
It's supersonic medium, I think.
In the medium, the altitude.
N- no,
No, altitude. Different tables for every altitude.
this is the speed. Yeah, this is the altitude. This is the speed of the
Oh, yeah, that's
endurance.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think we only have a point blank, which I
You're
think
sure it's
is
medium supersonic?
that's what I want to check.
Okay.
Let's
You're right.
triple
Point
check
blank.
that.
That's not
I'm
much, is it?
pretty. No, it's not. These Soviet missiles are quick. Okay,
So you got to save me, basically.
Oh, you're gonna get a shot too. So
maybe one.
Yeah, it won't be
Yeah, it is
much.
a medium supersonic. You see that right there?
Okay. Yep.
Oop,
Oh, that's right. Literally on the page. Huh.
hold on.
I can't even shoot this tactical turn because you're not in point. You're not in that range yet, are you?
Yeah.
You're not
So
below
I got.
15 miles. So
So
the
do we
next tactical turn, I'm
advance
gonna
it?
have to be able to shoot.
So you basically have like spotted it, but it's too far away still.
You're
So we have to advance to the
targeting.
next.
Yeah, you're about to get it, and I don't know what's gonna happen here. I might hit you.
Well, I still get the shots
No,
though,
you'll
and he
get
gets
one
the shots
shot. You'll
before they
get one
hit.
shot. And will he get one shot? Because we've only been two increments. So this next increment he can shoot, and I think he's gonna get
It-
point blank as well, right?
yeah, because the Phalanx doesn't have a combat delay, I don't think, but I don't think he
You
can
are.
get his missiles off.
Okay, let's think about that then. We need to go ahead and move, right? Because you can't fire yet, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we
Yeah,
can
I
go
would go
one
ahead and
more
advance.
increment, right? Everybody agrees I can go one more increment.
Yep.
Boop. It's not quite there, but
Yeah.
all right. It's
Feel the heat from the
your
flames.
your point four. I need to take a screenshot of that. Okay, your point four monster. So you're gonna get one. You're gonna get one shot here, and I don't think it's within. It's definitely not within the CIWS of this, but you're gonna get two CIWS phalanx fires at it, four missiles,
And my
and
both my boats are going to fire at it too.
What is CIWS? What does
um,
that stand for?
close in
Close
weapon
something.
system.
Okay.
So how many? When would he have seen it and gotten it?
He's 3. He would have saw it at launch 40 plus miles away.
Right, but he was at three increments, so he sees it, but he gets one fire at it, right? He's gonna get one SAM at it.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
it. It'd be the
but he
same
can
thing as Nicholas.
fire. He can fire two missiles with his director, though. By the way,
Yeah.
which will increase the. I assume. Okay,
But
let me just.
but
Let me
do I
just.
also get the phalanx close in?
Yes, you do.
So basically, I get a shot or two with a Sam
You get
further
one
out.
shot. You're gonna get one shot with the SAM, and you're gonna get two fires of the phalanx because that's a bonus of it. It can fire twice in point blank. So one SAM, one SAM, one SAM, two phalanxes, right?
You remember the channels and director charts?
Yes, I do, or I will
Trying
once
to,
I.
trying to find it.
It's in the start of the sixth chapter, I believe, and we might.
Yeah, it's 6-1.
Yeah, there you go, right here. What are you, a fourth? And it's S.
Yes.
It's S. Yeah, right here. So you can do two missiles per channel, and channels per director one. So you can fire two SAMs at it, which just increases the hit probability.
I think I only got one director for the whole thing. So yeah, one shot of 2 SAMs.
Yeah, one shot, two SAMs. Right.
What's a director? Oh, generic term.
Yeah, there you go. Unless you have local control on those other ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my the Mark 92 normal director for the fire of the double salvo. I'm gonna use Mark 92 CIS director as a second SM1 channel, but I only get half the number of intercepts.
Which brings you down to nothing.
Um, that's nothing. So okay, just the primary.
I don't know what that. I don't know if you round up or round down in that regards.
I don't know. I'll assume round down. Say no. I'm just gonna fire my normal one, the Mark 92, so I get to fire 2 missiles.
Yeah, so you got one shot with two probability. He gets one shot. He gets one shot. So does everybody agree then? One SAM, two phalanx.
Yeah.
Okay, do we want to? Let's go down the line. And we'll start with the Nicholas. Back where we were. Get all the modifiers in front of us. It should be pretty straightforward just from here. Okay, first of all, we are doing a two missile. Target
What's the
speed.
SAM missile? Is that the SM-1MR Block 4?
Yes. Surface to air missile. Yes.
Closing. No ATA modifier.
Doesn't have a firing arc. Is that like expected for SAMs?
Um,
I'm just trying to
it's
like
based on
wrap
the
my head
it's
around some
based
of
on the
this.
mount. The mount has a.
Your firing arc of the mount is forward.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
So let's
nice.
start. Let's start doing our modifiers, right? So the target size modifier of a very small is -1, right? Combat
Oh,
system.
it's small. It's small target.
You are correct.
What page are you on?
I'm doing the computation based on 8-4.
884. Thank you.
What's your ATA?
Who's firing first? Nicholas is firing first.
Oh, sorry. Let me get the ATA on my ship. Sorry.
Hmm. Now we're just going left to right.
What's an ATA?
It's an air to air. There's an anti-air. Um, it's basically a capability rating.
2.5.
So you're starting at 2.5. We have
So is that
no
something like
mod. We have
Tom?
No,
no.
no. Sorry. Starting at 3. Yeah, starting at 2.5.
Right.
Correct.
No modifiers based on size. What about combat system?
I'm 4. I'm
So
generation 4.
missile target, missile target, aircraft target,
So it
missile.
now goes up to 3.
You are missile target. No, that goes. It gets halved, doesn't it? No, you're right. You're right. Sorry. You're right. I thought it was a modifier. Sorry, it was just an additive. Sorry. All right, so 3. Target modifiers. No terminal maneuvers.
But it is a sea skimmer, so it's 0.
So it's 0. Target speed. This is where it's gonna. So -2. So you're at 1. And then bearing rate closing. No modifier. Range band closing point defense. Range not. No modifier here. I think that's it. What about
What's the
anti-air?
bearing rate thing?
On anti-air. Oh, right here. This is just
The angle of
the
approach
shift.
from
Yeah,
his perspective.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So you just kind of zip through that. Like,
Like if
are
I
we just 0 to 20 degrees? Then I
was.
take it.
Yeah, I think we are. Right? We
Okay,
look
because I
here. Well, his path
yeah,
is like
yeah.
this. This path is like this. So that might actually be more than that, right?
I think it's all right. But yeah, I mean, it's your call.
Let's see. That would be a. He's going 100. I think it's closing. I don't think that this angle is more than. Anybody got laser eye protractor eyes?
Nope.
I don't think that that's more than 20,
I
right?
agree. Yeah,
Okay, okay, thank you.
it's helpful to visualize. Sorry.
All right, but it was a good call out because if it was a little bit more than that, like if he was here, it might be more.
Mhm.
Okay, I think that's where we're at. We're at 1, right? That's what I computed it as. It went up to
So,
3, and then it got -2 because of speed.
so
It's
64% chance of
Yeah.
knocking one missile down.
You want me to roll it?
Yep.
All right.
wait. I thought. Wait. So the one missile, two missile. That's
That
the
just.
target,
Yeah,
or is that how many missiles?
you're targeting one of the incoming missiles. He's targeting
Oh,
one
okay.
of the SAM. He's targeting one of the inbound anti-ship missiles with a SAM. So he chose to fire two SAMs. His director allows him to do that. So it would have either been 40% if he only fired one.
Okay.
It's
Okay. Cool.
64%. So let's see if we take one out. I have an actual percentage dice here. You got 45. You got it. You got one of them. Let's reduce that. All right, so this
I'll
is
take it.
down to 3. Okay. Next would be Kid, 1 SAM. So we need to know what the starting ATA is for your surface to air missile. He's got the same one, right? Is that correct?
No, he doesn't actually.
Oh, he has the slightly older or the slightly newer. Here, I can go look it up.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where to find the
It's
ATA
ATA
stuff.
1.5. It's on the
He
remarks
starts. He
for
starts.
your
He starts at 1.5.
Where is that? The remarks where?
Look on the weapon details for the SM1MR on your sheet. Farther right, it says ATA
One. Okay,
1.5.
I see.
Because it's a
Cool.
block 4, right? You're a block 6. Are slightly better. SARH, Gen 3, Gen Seeker, ATA 1. So he starts at 1.5. I think it's all the same. So target
Was Michael's
small
fourth generation?
0.
Yeah.
What is yours? Third?
Third.
Yeah, so you
So
don't get that bump. So you're at 1.5, and then you probably go -2. Yeah,
No,
for
your
speed.
combat system is 4th generation semi-automatic.
oh, I thought in the remarks it said third generation
Oh,
Seeker.
sorry, yeah.
Is it? Okay.
3rd generation Seeker.
So he's still at 0. He goes up. He doesn't go up. So he's 1.5, and then he loses 2 for the speed. So he's at -0.5. Okay, and you fired 2, I'm assuming. I think your director allows 2, right?
I have no idea.
We'll see. We'll see. I think you do. I think you're right. You
Oh,
did
by the
not.
way,
You did not
by the
get
way,
it. I rolled a 68, so that did not get it.
Okay,
So
can I ask about like where on the ship form does it talk about the director?
it
Um,
should say it. Hold on. It says it should say
so
it's
in
on
notes and
the.
remarks on the bottom of first page it says forward and aft Mark 26 share a total of 2 directors. Then there's it's a somewhat a different director. Like there, I don't know if that's where
how
the
many SAM launchers do you have though?
He's. Oh, he's got 2 directors, so he.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
they share a director, don't they?
I think so. But how many mounts does he have?
1 mount, 2 tubes. So he has actually
Yeah, but
4 shots. Oh no, disregard. It's based on director.
yeah, that's what I thought.
He has 1 double shot, like I
Right,
did.
right, exactly.
so be so um there's only a column for if you shoot 1 or 2 or more, or you can only shoot two
You
at
can only
most for
shoot 2
any.
at most. Would get
Okay.
you that.
Okay. All right, and I missed. So next is
Now,
the
if for
tailor.
some reason you had 2 mounts, for some reason I don't know if your ship would ever have that, but if you had 2 different mounts with 2 different directors, you could have tried for another missile. You know what I'm saying? Another
Hmm.
of the inbounds. But per inbound, this is what. Yeah. All right. So we will come back to your close in, or do you want to
Hmm.
try? Do you want to try your close in, and then
Yeah, whatever.
I'll even
We
say
can we can
I'll even
we can
say that.
stick with the missiles if you want for now.
Okay, yeah, we might want to just because we're in the same area. So he is. I'm gonna say this bearing is a little bit more. No, maybe not. No, I
Well,
think
that's definitely more. I mean, he's pointing in the opposite direction.
right. I think
No, it's not.
it's.
It's how much it's not crossing his bow. It's crossing his view. How much degree of angle change between start and end of the missile's track.
And I think that would be like representative of this angle, right?
Yeah.
Which
I
I
feel like
think
that would be over
is
20. Okay,
over
I see.
20.
Yeah, agree.
Okay.
So I'm down to like low.
Probably. But you still always have a chance. At least you might as well try.
We
All right.
need
So,
it.
all right. So, what was your ATA?
It's 2.5 and actually third generation. The last one would have hit anyway, but it's actually
Okay.
third
All right.
generation.
So you're 2.5. You stay at 2.5. You lose 2 because of the speed, so you're down to zero point 0.5, and then you lose another 2, so you're at neg 1.5.
28% chance.
And I shall roll. Hey, it's a chance.
Mhm.
You did not. I got 30. Very close. Very close. For
Gotta
the
rub it
record,
in.
spin the fin. Right. All right. Now you got 2 phalanx shots at point blank, and I think that these have pretty good ATA. So at most, one's gonna hit you, right? Potentially. They're still probably at that point. So what is the ATA of the phalanx?
Hang on. Whoops, I'm on the wrong ship.
It might be listed here. Let's see. It is 2.55.
I
Where
think
is
that's
it?
the individual gun, but you need to look at the mount. The mount.
I thought the AAA was it's a gun effectively, and I think the
Yeah,
ATA.
but that AA number on the individual gun from the annexes doesn't include ammunition type and other things like that. You just can't add it in the. That's why you have to look actually in the mount under the ship itself, and it will tell you the ATA for that phalanx.
And let's go back over to U.S. Navy then, American Navy,
Yeah, yeah, I'm heading over there right now.
and he's a kid. Let's
Are definitely
see.
quicker at reading these charts than me, that's for sure.
So where I am a little confused on that because I thought that the CIWS was independent. Oh wait, you're right. Like that, you mean?
What does that even mean?
That's the ATA, isn't it?
That's your ATA, but also you notice your 5-inch gun has also got an ATA. You can shoot it too.
You're right.
Where's the 5 inch?
Right here.
Oh, okay, I see. So that number in bold is ATA, and there's like a key in the front of the book that just kind of explains that.
Yeah, what happens? The annexes give you the raw ATA of the gun, but then there's modifiers based on ammunition type and stuff like that. That's when those are figured into the annex ship listings.
Interesting. You know what? I honestly did not even look there. I learned something there. All right, so block. All right, so you got a pretty good chance here, right? You want to just do your phalanxes first because we got how
Sure.
many left? We got 3 missiles left. Well,
Yep.
maybe let's do the 2 firings of the phalanx first, which um. So there's 2 inbound though, so this could fire independently. Then we're saying, right?
Yeah,
What is AA strength?
anti-air.
But is that what's yeah, AA and ATA, I guess. I'm just like I think my brain is starting to
I don't
wear
know
down.
where does it say AA?
I'm looking at I assumed the phalanx would be anti-air gun hit chance. It's chapter 8-9.
Yeah, maybe
Am I am
No,
I
you
looking at the
might be
wrong
right. You
table?
might be right. I think we
Um,
can't use that same table.
I didn't know if that's what the
You
phalanx
are
would use.
correct.
Yeah, the AA strength
Let's.
is your gun. It's 5. That is 5.
Yeah, you're right.
So
You
AA
are correct.
strength is really ATA rating,
Yeah, it's right here. It's right here. So
and then the
five.
chance 0.59, or is it 59%?
It's the percentage.
Okay,
Let's go
it's
back and look
I
at
feel like
the.
that's formatted really weirdly.
Yeah, it is a little bit, but so it's five
Okay.
O A. Let's go back over here. So he starts at a 59% chance, and then modifiers. Target speed is medium. He's got neg 2.
Yeah.
You just modify the AA, so that's your speed makes it a 3.
Down to a 3.
Hmm.
And then what?
Target size
Not
large,
not any
right?
maneuvering target size.
Or no,
Yes, you're right. It is. No, it's a
wasn't
small.
it large?
That's a small.
Small target.
Very low. Ooh. But it is an SSC. I
Yeah, it's
think.
sea skimmer capable. So yeah, you have 2 shots at 44% chance each.
Correct. So your
What's
first,
the? Can
your,
I pause? I skipped over the target maneuvers. What is that
um,
suggesting? It's like not a missile, like it's a jet that's
it's,
doing some
hold on a
weird.
second, missile terminal maneuvers, high diving diversion. You know what? We do need to look at that, don't we? Because if it's a non-maneuvering, he gets more too, right?
I mean, I assume that's sort of like okay, it's just a missile heading straight in, so it's not maneuvering.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's
I
what
don't
that
know.
means. I
Not
think
sure.
that's
You
I
might
think
be
that's
right.
I think that's more of a like a hovering helicopter,
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
right?
What's divergence heading away?
Right.
Crossing is not. It's not crossing. It's probably nothing then because it's
I
heading
think
straight at
it's
me.
nothing, and this I believe is more of a hovering target.
Missile. Wait. What's missile terminal maneuvers? Does that mean I'm like the end? Like I'm the terminal point of the missile?
Some missiles dance a little bit before they hit the
Some do
ship.
a hop. Sometimes they do a hop, right? They go up and
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
And I don't believe that this does. I don't. I think
Okay.
it would have mentioned it as a remark in this. It's a D and an N
Lee.
toward D terminal evasive maneuvers. It does have terminal evasive maneuvers.
Right.
It does?
Yeah. I wouldn't have thought so, but it does.
So it's now down to two. So I have a 35% chance.
Correct.
Balls.
You get
See,
two
that's where we need
shots.
helicopters up.
You do. You do. You get two of these. So you get. All right. So let's see. My dice is. These are hot. These are hot today. Ooh, that missed. That's a 68. All right. So the second shot. Come on.
But I still have that 5 inch gun
That
too, right?
missed. 86. That missed. All right. You do
Okay.
have the other. You do have a 2.0. Where'd that go?
But Peter, how can I really believe that you rolled what you rolled?
Um.
Calling shenanigans. I'm flipping the table over in a rage. Okay, so
The
5 inch
alternative
guns
is
now.
the dice roller, which actually quite sucks, by the way, in the Discord. All right, so 2.2. So we start at 2.2. I think we're going to be pretty rough here, aren't we? So
So
it's
all the
got terminal.
modifiers are the same. So it's -3.
I think so. So it gets down to like,
Nothing.
I think you got a 6% chance at least.
Roll it, see what happens.
Oh, you never
Yeah,
know.
well,
You never know. These dice are hot.
you keep saying
You
that.
hear me
I don't
roll it at
believe
They're the
least, right?
Soviets, they are.
Yeah, well, good point.
I rolled an 85, so no.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 3 missiles inbound.
There's nothing left, right?
There's
Like, and they're hitting
nothing left,
like
but there
crazy.
is a
Oh,
percent
no. They still
chance.
have to roll the hit.
Yeah.
And so does rolling to hit account for like just the unknowable variables?
And it counts for decoys and so forth.
Decoys, jamming, other variables, yeah.
Missiles.
So where are we in the book now?
We're right. Man, hold on a second. I need to crack my brain. Um, where the heck is that final PK? Anti-air missile countermeasures table. That's what I use.
What chapter are you in, Peter?
I'm in 8.4, but I don't think I'm in the right spot. Hold on, I think let's go back to the example because I think the example finally.
All right, I will be right back.
Oh, you also have to roll, see if they actually made the waypoint. Your weapon placement.
You're right.
We didn't, but that's only 1 in 10 chance of not making that
Okay,
if they
I
did.
will.
So.
For the record, I will roll a d10 for that. All right. You are correct, though. That's a good point. And I'll watch it. I'll watch it. Where? All right. So 9 or less on this. Got a 3. All right.
So what seeker gen is you using on your
The
missile?
Sovereignty Musket 3. Oh, lost it, of course. This is a Gen 3.
I think the kid's only got jamming. He's got jamming and decoy.
All right, so what table should I be looking at this point? I'm kind of lost. I'm sorry, my brain's a little frazzled.
I'm looking at the player's handbook. It's like a 61%, no, 51% chance of a
What's
hit.
the header of the What's the header
What
of the
chart number is
table?
that, Michael?
Anti-ship missile attack table, page 815. I think is going to be on the rule book.
Thank you. Does it tell you? Does the player handbook tell you?
I got a page number listed, tagged in italics on the upper right corner of this thing.
Okay, so what is your size? You are a medium, third gen, seeker gen 3.
And
What
he's
do you
got
got?
jamming and
Jamming and
decoy.
decoy. So he's at 51%. Did you see how we got to that, Connor?
No, sorry. Like
Okay.
my binder kind of fell apart. If you don't mind going over it again.
So we use the anti-ship missile attack table, right? So we're on 8-15.
Okay,
We're looking at a medium target. The
that's me.
ECM gen of the target is third gen, right?
Okay.
Third gen electronic countermeasures.
Jamming and decoy.
So
It's on
then,
your ship sheet near the top.
the seeker gen of the missile inbound is third, and then jamming and decoy, which you have both of, brings it to a 51% chance for each of these. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Michael, where did you say that? Oh, third generation J and D. Okay, cool.
All right. First missile hits 25. Second missile misses. Third missile misses.
Hey,
We got
all
one
right.
Not
hit.
bad.
Not bad. Not too bad. And I think the kid has a pretty good amount of damage capacity. What is he? 52 plus a d6.
So what's next step? Just determining
Six. You
damage.
got 58
Yeah.
points of damage. 58 points on the kid.
Wait. How did you determine what to roll for damage? Is that in the missile type?
It's in the description of the missile, which would have been it's 52 plus
Okay.
d6.
Question.
Okay.
I need a question for you. I might have misread it though, but that D6 is not additive damage. That's the number of criticals minimum. That's the number of criticals you add to any criticals you get.
Oh. Oh, that's kind of worded weird. Um,
So besides your normal roll for criticals, you automatically get 1d6 worth of criticals on that ship.
Where is that in the rule book?
Yeah, it's in the damage section. We'll look at it here.
Okay.
I think I read that right.
Yeah, let's go to that then. That's where we're at anyway.
What chapter? I'm just like all
It's
over
a
the
whole
place.
damage chapter. I think it's chapter 10, but let me
10?
might be wrong on that. No, chapter
10 subwork
no.
here.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Uh,
Damage results 14.
okay. Damage points inflicted by the weapon from the ship. Where does it explain that D6?
Definitely seems like an important.
Ship and sub criticalization. I could have. Yeah, I don't remember seeing that. I believe you, but where is that described?
I'm looking also.
I thought that was just like a light variation in how much damage occurred. That's the way I originally read it. I could be entirely wrong. When a weapon inflicts damage on a target, the weapon must penetrate any arm in the location of the hit before it can do internal damage. Critical are applied simultaneously to both sides. Damage from fire.
They had an old sit rep on this, and it's kind of explained it when they went to this system.
I think what you're thinking of is the D6 die roll for the critical hit damage ratio. Yeah, I think what you might have had in your mind is critical hit damage ratios on 14-3.
You know,
Oh,
I knew that one, but there's another part that actually tells about that extra plus D there.
I mean, maybe this is just another question for the writers.
Yeah, I just
Give me a second here.
let me see if the no. What I tend to do is let me go back to the jump start, see if they even have an example in here. Sometimes this gives you kind of a clue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are examples in the text too, and I have not seen anything clear in the chapter.
Let me see something. Harpoon missiles inflict 40 points of damage to Harpoon missile inflicts 40 points of damage. Let's go look at that. The Harpoon missile. So let's go look at Harpoon 1C. Just real quick. What is the damage on Harpoon 1C? You probably have it sitting in yours. You're right, it's 40. What does that do?
Any discoveries? Sorry, I had to jump up for a second.
Plus d6 divided by 2. Plus d6 divided by 3. Plus d6 divided by 3. A third. So 1, 2. 1 or 2. Plus 1 or 2. What the heck does that do? God, I hope this isn't just brutally obvious here. Because they don't mention it in the jumpstart.
Yeah, it's look under section 14.1.5 missile impacts.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I think Michael's right. An additional die roll for critical hits caused by the airframe. Awesome.
Oh, so it's just the missile DP rating of it.
Yeah, it's based on that, but it is automatic critical hits before you even roll the table. So
Okay, so let me go ahead and just roll that. So that's like you're gonna get 1 or 2 extra crits, right? Basically, I'll either roll for 1, or I'll get, so 1 to 3. I'll get 1.
1 to 3. You get
I roll a
no,
d6.
yeah, I think you're one. Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Yeah, not divided by 2 on yours, is it?
So I think it's a.
Up to 6 critical hits, this thing can cause extra.
Are you kidding me? Holy crap! I'm gonna check that.
That's a good hunk of a missile right there.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap!
So where is there like a critical chart where I can see how ugly this is going to be?
Guided missile not only inflict damage once, there's an additional die roll for critical hits caused by the airframe, and they also inflict an automatic fire.
We might just roll a critical damage table first and get that one over with at the beginning.
Holy shit! What? So do the normal one? Just do the other.
Yeah, and then see what happens. Then we can go add the other ones in.
So the damage ratio though was originally what? How much is out of your whole? You took 50.
It's what's left of after you take the hit.
So 52.
Damage of the hit divided by what's left of the hit.
So he's down to this.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. So hold on, let's just do it right. So
Somewhere in like the 80% range.
sorry, my math is horrible, y'all. I'm sorry. I take the how much was inflicted over.
Yes. What's left after the damage?
So two.
What was the damage? 56?
52 minus 52.
52.
Okay, so 234, and you're saying that.
Divided by 286.
So the missile hit took the DP of the missile divided by 234.
And the DP of the missile was 62. So you're saying this, or 234 divided by that?
234, right there. Oh, 0.626. So it'd be on the 0.2 table.
What page are we on? I'm starting to.
Oh, right here.
14.3.
You mean this one right here? Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So 101, 2, 3. You don't get any extra. I
So
rolled a
this,
six.
so this is the. Can I pause? This is the initial. There's like automatically a chance for a crit, right?
You're right.
Yes.
But there's
And
automatically a.
so based on the damage ratio, you roll 1d6, and if you roll 1 through 3, there's not a crit.
You're on the point two table, point
Right.
two row. Okay.
I rolled a six, unfortunately.
Okay, so a 6 is
Three
the
crit.
3 that
Three.
you highlighted. So that's 3 crits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Plus
plus the
another
1d6.
d6.
Oh,
Okay,
well, roll
okay.
1d6. How many more we get?
Okay. Here we go.
And then we roll on the critical hit table for each
Yeah,
critical
we'll
hit.
see if we even bother. Hold on.
Lovely.
I rolled a
I don't
one.
see
I
anything
rolled a
funny
one.
about this.
So
Oh,
I rolled a
okay,
one.
okay, there we go.
good chance you're not sunk. So
No, no, you got a lot of. Okay, so you got four criticals, but there's automatically a fire critical on the first hit, if I saw correctly where we were before.
there is. There's an additional one, by the
Right
way.
here. Right, so fire. So you automatically have a fire crit, and then we have four of them that we have to roll on,
Yeah.
which is here.
Ooh-wee.
Which I don't know how much more time we're gonna have here, unfortunately, y'all.
Well, I mean, if we resolve this and pick it up in a few weeks, I mean,
Yeah,
it would be
that's cool.
interesting.
I could probably do it in like 2 weeks. I wanted you to get your retribution in, right? What are the modifiers here, if any? It's just a straight guided versus surface A to E, right? Yeah. Okay, so your first critical hit is on 20 bridge. Ooh, that might be it, right?
I mean, I'm dead.
We need to look that up. So the first one is bridge. Second one is a fire.
The main common station
The third one is a 1, which is a weapon. And the fourth one is on 9, which is engineering. Well, we got an interesting mix. We have things to look up tutorially here. Bridge.
Yeah, so that's on 14.8, I think. It says it takes d6 divided by 2 tactical turns to correct casualties, reman the bridge. So I don't know if that means I'm basically like unable to do anything, if I'm like frozen for those turns. Ship is fitted with a navigation radar. It is lost.
What'd you say on that?
It also said in the bridge, it says if the ship is fitted with a navigation radar, it is lost.
That's just because that's technically or that's more often than not where they put that. All right, there's a fire critical. Okay, so with the bridge, there's a fire critical. I'm gonna put an FC next to my rated thing here. There's a fire critical in the bridge area. We also have a fire. If the ship is fitted with that, I think there's a weapon hit. So the fire. Let's go look at the fire.
We have 2 fires, by the way.
You are correct.
So
I
there's
wrote
a
them down.
fire that you already rolled, and then there's a fire in the bridge.
Correct. But there's also an additional fire.
Yeah, additional fire. So
Yeah.
so basically, there's 3 fires on this ship.
Now
Okay.
where
14.4 is fires.
Severity level. Look, I think it's on 14.7, page 14.7.
Yep.
No, that's damage control. Sorry.
how do you get that percentage?
There's a table somewhere, I thought.
Percentage for what?
The fire. I don't know why that's not
Well, I
right
mean, the
there.
severity levels on it's 14 page 14.7, but section 14.4.
Oh,
Ship's damage control is affected by its size.
Oh, die 6, by the way.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Die 6. And if it is not penetrating, it's cut in half. Or if it's guns, it can be cut in half also. But so a die 6 for each fire.
Okay. So first fire gets 4.
Bridge fire?
That's another bridge fire.
No. What's the bridge fire severity?
No, I'm going down the list. I
Oh,
started.
okay.
I started with the original fire crit, the freebie fire crit. I rolled a
Okay, yeah.
4.
That's 4%. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Okay, the next one is the bridge one. Is that also additive here because it's sent? Is it
This is
location specific?
fire.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I thought it would be additive, but
Okay, so 3, and then the other fire, which is 5. So we're up to 12% total,
yeah.
and that becomes.
13.
Did I do that wrong?
It's no 13. I think it's major. We're at major level on
Severe. What's the size of the ship?
medium.
That's
Oh, class B.
Okay.
How are you all doing this? I
Where's
think
the
I
class B
lost
on
it.
that? Hold on a second. You are correct, medium. We added up there was an additive fire percentage, right, per fire, right? And it was a D6. So what we
Where's that?
did,
Is that
14.4.
at the very top?
Yeah.
right here.
Very top
Okay.
of page 14.7.
Result is a percentage of the ship's.
No, it's
Oh, I
definitely
see.
not
Okay.
either of those. The result of a percentage. The result is a percentage of the ship's original DP. These damage portions are reflected on the third tactical turn after the critical hit. So we would get these as DP. We'd get 12 DP after 3 tactical. Yeah.
Yep.
But within the tactical, you're able to try to put them out.
Yeah.
But that gets them into the major. But what does that do for us?
It just changes your percentage of getting overwhelmed and
Right here, right?
label.
In the plotting phase of the third tactical turn. So that's just on the third tactical turn. We do that all right here. I'm gonna highlight this because that's probably where we're gonna end up, right? All right. That's all for fires. Now the weapon hit. Where was that?
I think we have to randomly pick a roll for a weapon.
Yeah,
And our radar is considered a weapon too? I think they are.
Okay, one of the ship's
No,
weapons.
no. Sorry.
Find out
it's
which
the
one.
bottom of 14.9. Yeah. Okay, you got it. Elevators.
Anything listed as a
catapults.
weapon on the for a ship in Annex 8. So let's go look. Let's go to the source. Just to be sure. Let's be the weapon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? It would be any of these, right? What they say is anything listed here would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, I'll just use a die 6. Roll a 5, which takes out your helo.
Helicopter. Well,
Bye
that
bye.
simplifies it for me if I make it.
Interesting.
Keeping the game simple. There we go.
All right, so that's that, right?
So I'm gonna. I don't know where I should put this, but on the spreadsheet, I'm just gonna mention that my helo is destroyed now. I might not be in the right time segment.
We're at 1522.5. I'm gonna save this as
Okay,
well.
I'll add that then.
Save.
1520.
Yeah, we go for the engineering hit. So far, your ship's not doing. You still have all your firepower left.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna get uglier, I'd imagine.
I wish I could put notes on this. Do you have those notes listed? Maybe even in the sheet here. Can you put? Can we put on here? You want me to transfer all this to that? That would probably be easy. So you have what? You have
Do you want me to put that in the
three.
notes
I'm
row? I
gonna put it
mean,
over here just for now. For three of three
okay.
fires going at 12 DP after three tacticals.
You're at 12% on your fire ratings.
Like 12. What is that? Like I've
So
lost
you're
12%?
you're at a
That's severity,
severe, isn't it? No, it's moderate.
severity level. Yeah.
Let me go look at that.
You lose 12% of your DP after the third turn.
And DP is basically hit points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're in the major classification. Okay, so that's three fires at 12. Is it percent or just straight up DP?
No, I think it's percent of his DP.
If it's remaining DP, no matter what. Okay.
And the helicopter's gone, so.
Yeah.
I think that's the first time
Yeah,
I've
I
seen that
just threw
happen.
that in like special instructions. I guess I should put that in notes though, really.
I'm just. But we still also have a engineering hit, which I think causes another fire. By the way. Yes, it is. It's a local fire. So I think we need
I,
to
I, have, a,
roll.
I have a
Go ahead.
question. Now, I know in Command C they used to do different fire. You have a 10% here, a 4% here, a 3% here. That's the same way in Harpoon.
I believe so.
So that means the main fires he's got.
So that's what I was
So
asking about before. Like, there's main
they're
fires
still
and then
all right.
there's local fires, right? But I
I
think it
think
is
they
added.
might. Sorry, we're lagging here.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry. You're right. What you're saying is right. Every fire is still separate when you try putting it all out,
Right.
but you have to actually
But it is additive from a control
add
panel.
it for the cumulative level. See
All
what
right. So
happens if you overwhelm yourself.
I'm gonna roll for the engineering one, which we didn't do, because I think it does. I only got a 2 on that one. So we're at 14, which takes it to no, it's still a major. It's still in the major. So, but we're at 14%. Where did I just put that?
Sorry, I'm moving stuff over to
That's
the
fine.
notes. Just sorry if
You
that's
got to change
annoying.
it to wherever it says 12. It's 14 here. I'll do it.
Oh, okay.
It's going to take some use time to get faster on this. There's a lot of little rules in here.
Mm-hmm.
And then the engineering does something as well. Where let's start here. Okay, the engineering plant reduce speed to the next lower. So we were already at 75%, right? Where did we get down to? We got
Yeah,
down to.
we're at 70. No, we're still at 9. Yeah, we're below 257. So yeah, we're at 75%.
So then we're actually
50.
oh, so we're actually here. Yep. So you're maximum 16 knots. Okay.
So what else does the engineering thing do? Does it have anything on any other effects on us?
There's another overloaded. You can move that if you want. I'm sorry, I'm just putting it in there. Yes, there is another check for.
Yeah, you roll on the first engineering critical. You roll a dice.
Okay.
You roll it on a one. Something major nasty happens, like electrical power goes
Rolled
out.
a 2.
No. Nope, nothing happens. You took a 1 to do it.
Yep. Okay. There you go. You missed that at least. You missed that special sauce.
So your ship's really not that
It's
damaged,
not too
all
bad.
things considered.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm honestly kind of okay with the helo just because it simplifies the game. um, just for my brain, because it's definitely like starting to slow down. Okay, so is that the effect of that nasty 3 missiles?
Yep.
Okay. And so can you all? I don't know if you all want to pause here, but the bridge damage. It says it takes d6 divided by two technical turns to correct casualties and reman the bridge. So am I basically just sort of like dead in the water for a minute and a half?
I think so. Yeah. Well, you can continue. You're going to continue on your same speed and course. I think is what it said.
Well,
I'll look it up.
yeah, okay. And did you roll a 6? So it's 3 turns? Did I just make that up for some reason?
It's 3 turns just blanketly, I think.
Well, it says d6 divided by 2.
So we need to roll that one then.
So I didn't know if the
Okay.
fires after
Oh,
3 tacticals was
two.
what you had rolled.
I roll a two.
Okay, so I'm going to add that then to that note list.
All right.
So
I need to stop streaming at this point.
bridge.
Um, sorry, a lot of activity in the area. All right, so I'm gonna call it for the day, and we'll get together again when we can schedule it.
Cool. Yeah, this was fun, guys.
Yep, absolutely.
Learned a whole lot here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole lot.
Thank you all for
All right,
being
y'all.
patient too.
No
You
problem.
know what? One thing that we got to do, I'm gonna make my own little chart, quick reference charts, which ones do we go by?
All right, y'all.
'Cause
Have a good one.
all right.